141 days you have left to fix this stuff. Every single time I talk to people that come on my show, Zander, whomever, it's April 21. You got 141 days before the opening of the NFL season to get your shit right. All the things you do now, I tell you, all the stuff you do today, your payoff is in the fall. All the workouts, all the OTAs, the drafting, free agency, everything you do right now is a precursor to the upcoming season. And you've done nothing this offseason. Nothing. Here's what you have left. You got the draft on Thursday, which is not a very big draft. Then you have post-June 1 and a trade. Those are the three areas you're going to get better at. Maybe the draft, post-June 1, and a trade. Other than that, you've done nothing. You've actually lost players. Here's what you tell me. Before we get going here, you lose Blankenship, Nakobe Dean, Jalen Phillips, and A.J. Brown. Where are you better? How are you getting better? All the free agents you signed, they don't add up to shit. Who you draft, we'll see what happens in a couple years. And remember something. I'm talking about the collective group. You've lost 4 starters. AJ, Reed, Nakobe, and Phillips. 4 starters you've lost on your team. And you know who you're replacing them with? Timu signings and the draft. 4 starters, and you think you're a Super Bowl contender taking one of your best offensive players off the field. Is that right? Okay. By the way, before we get going, I want to show you the greed of the National Football League before we get into our topics here. So did you see the NFL is going to cut down selections in the first round? And they're going to cut those selections down from 10 minutes to 8. You know why? 2 reasons. They didn't like Mel Kiper last year setting a racist narrative on the whole Shador Sanders and ESPN going over the line, which many NFL insiders, and I'm talking Park Avenue people, were aggravated. And guess what else? They went from 10 to 8 so they could get more commercials and more commercial stop sets in. So for them to be able to make more money, they cut it down from 10 to 8 in between draft picks. The show's not going to be any quicker because they're going to run more commercials. Shows you what the NFL does when it comes to making money. Those Park Avenue guys are smart. They know how to move the needle. Speaking of that, hit the like button. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Super chats go to the top and right out of the gate. No A.J. Brown for the first time in 4 years at voluntary workouts. For the first time in his time as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown is a no-show. It's significant because he's always there. And from what we're told, A.J. Brown and the Eagles have already made the assessment that it's in the best interest if he doesn't show up. So A.J. Brown, the last you've seen of him as an Eagle was in the San Francisco 49er game. You will never see him again as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, it's only contractual. That deal is on the table right now. For the New England Patriots, a 2 and a 3, which is conditional. And that deal, unless somebody parachutes in. Now, there is another team. From what we're being told, it's the Chargers that could potentially parachute in here and make an offer post-June 1. This stuff will start, it'll start picking up steam more towards June. Maybe even, like you said, I mean, end of July, you'll start seeing some more conversation going back and forth. So this deal's done, dude. I told you this a month ago. This deal's already consummated. It's done. And we haven't wavered since January. And we're not. This deal's done, dude. So no A.J. Brown at workouts. What's the significance of this? Well, it's a chance for you to be able to meet your coaches. It's a chance for you to be able to work a little bit together on the field. And A.J. wants no part of it. That's pretty rich when you got a new offensive coordinator in the building, a new quarterback coach, and a new passing game coordinator, and your star receiver's not in the building. Okay? Significant? Of course it's significant. Your brand new boss is not there. His brand new boss, and he's not in the building. Of course that's significant. He's telling you flat out, I don't want any part of what you're doing with the future. Okay? So, out of the gate, the new offensive coordinator loses the best offensive weapon that you had in your huddle. He's gone. Because he doesn't want to be part of this. Don't blame him. Not going anywhere with that guy. I'm not talking Sean Mannion. Not going anywhere with that dude. Not anywhere. Let's get to some of the thoughts before we get into a comment that Shady McCoy made. What's up, Sills? I ain't even mad AJ leaving. God bless him. I'm just eager to see what Howie's plan is. It's a great take, too. Hey, by the way, this is what you guys should be saying about AJ Brown. Hey, thank you for some of the most successful years. We really appreciate what you brought here. You were an awesome football player for the Eagles, and you'll go down as one of the greatest Eagles in history. All the years of winning, you're never going to be in a position like what you just have been in. And it's been wonderful. It's been a great run. Should be thanking the guy. Good thing Manny came in to build the run game. You're going to build the run game with a guy who was 35th in yards per carry. And you're still going to blame the offensive line for being injured when outside of Lane Johnson, nobody really missed any significant time. That's wild. You keep telling me the O-line was injured, and yet nobody missed significant time. Barkley was 35th in rushing yards per carry. And by the way, I took the quarterbacks out. I appreciate your service, AJ. Good luck to you in your endeavors. Sorry about the color of the jersey, not the name on the back. Worry about the color of the jersey and not the name on the back. You're correct. You are, Steve. Let's see here. Hey, everyone, remember that our center was playing with a broken back. Let's see how many games Cam Jurgens missed a year ago. How many games did Cam miss last year as a player? Cam Jurgens. Cam Jurgens in 2025. He missed 2 games, held out of the last one. Cam missed 2. Many Landon missed last year. Landon Dickerson missed 1. So, I mean, those guys missed no time. They don't have to miss a game to know that they were playing hurt. Well, that meant you had no depth. What happened to all those guys you drafted? How come you had no depth in the O-line last year then? You had 0 depth. Is that correct? If you played injured dudes and you don't have anybody to go in and help them, that means your depth in your O-line stunk. Is that correct, WP? So Howie had no depth. Get that emo boy out of here already. Seals, if Howie moves up on Thursday, he isn't mortgaging 26. If he moves back, he's putting his cards in for 3 number 1s and 27. Sounds right? Seals, the thing that still confuses me is completely remaking the offense while running it back with Hurts. When this fails, do they drop Hurts and keep the... Yes. This is why I think they're going to be more in line with Nick Sirianni than with Jalen Hurts moving forward. You're not doing all this, and all of a sudden, you're just going to go, well, Nick, you're out, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I actually think Nick has more autonomy in the building, and his job is safer than Hurts' job. They're not building the offense for Jalen. They're building the offense for Nick. Okay? Let's see here. Here we go. Depth is depth for a reason. Well, in 2024, what was your depth? You had Tyler Steen and Fred Johnson. Tyler Steen became a starter. You lost depth in that move. You lost 2 players. You don't get it, Cover. When you lost Mekhi Becton, you lost 2 players. You lost a starter and a depth piece. You theoretically lost 2 players because Steen was your depth. I mean, Steen moved up, no depth, and a lesser player than what Becton was in 24. You lost 2 football players. There's talk the Eagles targeting Nussmeier in late 3rd and 4th if he's there. Why not? They need a quarterback. You guys passing judgment on AJ's character without knowing how many conversations he's had with that popped up 80 IQ quarterback. Wait a minute. You haven't heard me say shit about AJ. AJ's not wrong about the offense. It's terrible. The last 2 years, the offense has been garbage. It wasn't for Barkley's heroic run. You had nothing. Sills, in your opinion, do they keep their pick at 23? Look, you're a slave to the board. I don't think there's a good pick at 23. I think outside of the top 13 picks, you can have whoever you want at 23. You can have whoever you want at number 23. Okay? I mean, I don't know where you get. I think the value in the drafts is round 2 and 3. That's where you're going to get best player available and the economics to tie in. Man, Seals, I feel like if AJ wants to go, just let him. I'm just glad he contributed while he was here. Just my opinion. I think that's the great way to look at it. Thank you very much for your contribution to great success. And I appreciate it. Absolutely, man. Hey, dude, nothing's forever. AJ was never going to retire an Eagle. That's not his character. And quite frankly, these big money wide receivers, they never stay in one place. Does anybody really believe Justin Jefferson is going to retire a Minnesota Viking? Does anybody really believe that any of the top flight, like Puka Nacua, is going to retire a Ram? Absolutely not. Sills is right. There was zero depth in the O-line. I blame Stout for not being able to get any of the O-line draft picks on the field. I blame Howie Roseman for picking bad picks. Jeff Stoutland is not a magician. You give him shitty players, you get shitty results. What do you think? Who drafted Andre Dillard? Andre Dillard sucked. Stoutland couldn't squeeze that lemon and make it into an orange. He stunk. The depth level of your football team at O-line has not been very well drafted. If you're playing injured guys, and you guys are telling me that you're playing injured dudes, and you had nobody to go in for them and help them at least like you did in 24, where you had depth, you didn't have very good guys behind them. I mean, Jeff Stoutland is going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame for making guys like Jordan Mailata a Hall of Fame type player, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, making Steen a really good player. When you give a guy dog shit, you can't make dog shit into chicken soup. You've been pointing out for the last few years that teams have gotten rid of superstar wide receivers and went on to win. Yeah, because those guys had elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes. Yes, if you've got Patrick Mahomes, you can do it. If you've got a common quarterback, you can't. Josh Allen won an MVP after they got rid of Stephon Diggs. Everyone in here was telling me Josh Allen would take a step back. He won an MVP award. Sills, I know Bain ain't falling down to us, but I think he's still falling. We know GMs panic at stuff. Yes. I think he falls, but I don't think he falls down to 23. Could I see Messidor going ahead of him in the draft, like to the Bucks? Maybe. Messidor's a little older, though. So Messidor would go to an experienced football team, in my opinion. Okay? Stoutland was great, but he can't override the coach. Even though Nick sucks. Thanks for the memories. You're not wrong with that take. You're not. That was here, damn. MVP, dude. That was Lamar's award, and everyone knows it. He should have won it. I think Lamar Jackson should have won it that year, too. I do. Rasputin. Jalen let both Nick and KP fall on the sword for multiple stupid freelance plays. Were you guys' indictment of his character? Not going to talk about their boyfriend Hurts like that. If Jalen can't spread the ball around, which he can't, he cannot spread the ball around. Pietas. Jalen Hurts, in his entire time as the quarterback of the Eagles, has not shown one propensity to spread the football around. The average catches for the third wide receiver on your football team is 27 catches. For the third wideout on your team, it's 37 catches. No, excuse me, it's 27 catches. 27 catches. He's shown no propensity. And this is why the offense has struggled in the passing game. If your run game's not good, your quarterback can't elevate. And by the way, I'm talking as a unit. You can have all the individual numbers that you want, but as a unit, the offense has been terrible in the passing game. Here, one last time before we move on to what Shady said and what Shady McCoy said. So here, 2021, Eagles passing game. Eagles passing game. Eagles passing game. 2021 was ranked 25th. 22 was ranked 9th. Great year. When he ran RPOs, he was excellent. And the unit was great. Remember, this is unit. And here, listen, 2021, 2022, 2023, it was ranked 16th. 2024, passing game as a unit, let's see here, was ranked 29th. In the 2025, they were ranked 23rd. So think about it, folks. Never in the time that Hurts has been the starting quarterback has the offense as a unit 25th, 9th, 16th, 29th, and 23rd. End of the day, you don't have a passing game. As a unit, your passing game is terrible. Last year was even worse. You led almost the NFL in 3 and outs. You were 31st in 3 and outs. You couldn't keep sustained drives going as a unit. So, again, now let me get to what Shady said. So let's go to what Shady McCoy said. So LaShawn McCoy has made it clear. He said this the other day. Says he heard from sources that the team has been running a basic offense because Jalen Hurts can't really do the more exotic stuff. I had to do a lot of digging, and I won't throw them under the bus, but I know some people, and the problem is we can't do different exotic looks, different formations, different motions, because Jalen Hurts just can't do it. That's right, Kim. Let him run the damn ball. That's correct. Correct. My wife even knows this. Put the kid back into RPOs. She's saying the same. She's a Jalen. By the way, she's a Jalen Hurts fan. She loves Hurts. Thinks he's a great winner. Yeah, absolutely. She gets on my shit for it. But she's also seeing what they're doing. Right. Even Sills' old lady knows what's going up. I know you worked in radio 25 years. Absolutely. Plus, she's married to an ex-NFL guy. She's been around all these NFL players her whole life. Don't tell anybody. Hey, you're damn right. As a unit, the offense, all but 1 year, 29th, 25th, 23rd. That's what your ranking is. Okay? Well, wait a minute, RC. If you want to run Jalen Hurts like you ran him in 22, like she's saying, where the offense was 9th, you're damn right he's a weapon. If you're going to put him in the pocket and make that guy think he's Patrick Mahomes, she's not right because he's not that quarterback. But that's like putting Joe Burrow in a running quarterback offense. Joe Burrow's going to get murdered. That's like saying to Tom Brady, Hey, Tom, I want you to run RPOs. Take off for 15 yards. You wouldn't put Brady in a run quarterback offense. The league caught up with him running in late 2023 after they started 10-1. That could be because he's limited when it comes to his skill set. I want to read the Shady McCoy thing again. Shady McCoy says that going through his sources, that the team has been running basic offenses because Jalen can't do the more exotic stuff. I did a lot of digging, and I won't throw them under the bus, but I know some people, and the problem is we can't do different exotic looks, different formations, different motions because the quarterback can't do it. That's Shady McCoy. That's shady. Okay? That's shady. Let's see here. Let's go up here. There we go. We're going to people that make sense today. Sills reports out of Cincinnati is Burrow why would Joe Burrow want out of Cincinnati after they just paid Dexter Lawrence $30 million to improve the defensive front? There's no way that's a true statement. Joe Burrow's pulling the strings now, and he's pulling the strings now in Cincinnati. Okay? It's funny. Mrs. Big Sales knows her shit. Too bad the Eagles don't. They're hiring people that do nothing to help the quarterback. Nothing. Okay? Now, going to get to AJ here. Here in a second. Team went 10-1, but the league caught up with us. Then the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Y'all got to make sense sometimes. Well, he also in 2023 had 26 turnovers. How'd that work? He had 15-9. He had 24 turnovers in 17 games in 2023. That's where it makes sense. Have you noticed that when Shady, Newton, and Acho drift deep into being irrelevant, you get a Jalen Hurts quote out of them? Not a bad take. He was also in the MVP race of the first 12 weeks till the defense collapsed. Bro, he had 24 turnovers. How could you be in an MVP conversation when you have 24 turnovers in 17 games? Wink said it best. Then every team used the same scheme during that stretch. How much did Josh Allen have passing that much? What? The like button, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so now I'm going to ask this. Acho said Howie cut him 5 times before he turned 25. That's pretty funny, man. I actually like that. Acho's okay. I go back and forth with him. I do. Okay? I go back and forth. 2023, defense was a joke, but the defense doesn't play defense. Okay? He had more turnover that year. Let's be honest about it. He had more turnover that year. Not on offense, he didn't. What offense in 23 did he have a turnover from the 22 team? What was the turnover? Steichen? Steichen? Okay. Both coordinators out? Okay. Oh, that's really nice. I want to thank the guys. It's pretty cool. Really nice. Oh, there's a great promo. Z, you got to look at it. Look at the promos for Big Cells here. Big names, hot takes. We got it all with Big Cells. Go over to my X page, Z. Yes, sir. Look at that. Do you think technology? Look at this. Yes, sir. You guys are awesome. I want to thank you. All the shows kicking ass. You guys are awesome. Offense was scoring 22 points a game at 23. Why are you guys acting like it was the greatest show on turf? Well, it wasn't. I guess Shady's lying to, along with how many different reporters have said this over the years, pretty obvious who's the problem. Hey, Bob, isn't that nice? It's a nice little promo for Big Sales there from Sports Grid. Yes, sir, baby. I get this. I got to show you this, though, too. Z pointed this out to me. We'll get back in here in a minute. But that's pretty cool. So hang on here. So I got to show you this. So, yeah, here it is. So this guy sent this from he was in a stadium and he saw Big Sills over the weekend in a stadium with the show going on. And here's another guy that was on his laptop. And this guy was in, I think, in Baltimore. And he was talking. He said, let me see here. Hold on. Let me go down here. Yeah. Yeah, here's another guy. Where's he from? Yeah, and this guy William, he's sitting there at his home, and he's got his laptop on his desk, on his lap. Kind of weird in a way, but it's all good. So thank you, guys. Shady hates on any present Eagles and any present Eagle players that are on the cusp of shadowing what he did. Bro, you don't have... Saquon Barkley is not a better running back than Shady McCoy. Sills, you said Hurts was the front runner for the MVP after the Bills game in 23. Probably. He was playing well all the way up until that time. Then he fell off the map. Dude, you got to run through the tape. You can't start a race. You got to run through the tape. And by the way, hey, get this. Jalen Hurts played great, then poorly. Sills, if Steichen was OC here now, we would be a playoff team. My friend, if Shane Steichen was here now, he'd be the head coach. He'd be the head football coach. If Shane Steichen were here today, Nick wouldn't be the head coach. Sills, prime example, when Chip got rid of Shady, McCoy, and Djax about 2 years later, the Super Bowl, shit takes time. Yes. I have confidence in Howie. The Eagles will be fine. I think that's the only thing that should give you confidence. Here. Okay, get this. Proof positive. Sirianni promotes success. Okay. Guys, here's another topic here. So let's go over to what this guy just said. By the way, he's a wonderful example of how I make topics, because just go the reverse of what he says. Let me ask you this. In the Nick Sirianni era for Howie Roseman, who do you think was a better hire? Vic Fangio or Nick Sirianni? In 2021 to 2025, what do you think was the Eagles' best hire? Nick or Vic? Nick or Vic? Okay. He says Sirianni. Okay. Where would Sirianni be without Vic Fangio? Every year that every year that Sirianni and his troops went to the Super Bowl, Vic was a part of the organization, was he not? Was he not? Where would Vic Fangio and where would the Eagles be the last 2 years without Vic Fangio as the D coordinator? Where would they be? If you had Sean Desai, yes, he was here. He was a consultant. He was a consultant for the football team in 22. Yes, he was. Dan, thank you for getting AJ run out of town. What? Because AJ was right about your shitty offense? Sills, that's unfair critics, because we both know the defense was so bad. The offense was always desperate to push the ball downfield. Let me get it in between this guy, because I'll never go to this guy here ever. Vic came in right before the Super Bowl. Okay? Had to be Vic because we went to 2 Super Bowls with it. Was Gannon the second coming of Buddy Ryan, or did we have an incredible roster? I think you had a great roster. And you had a generational sack total, 70. Only the Bears of 85 had more sacks. AJ had a shitty playoff game. What are we saying about that? Okay. AJ had a shitty playoff game. Hurts has had numerous shitty games in the playoffs. Numerous shitty games. I'll tell you this. I would make the point to you that Jalen's had more average or below average playoff games than better ones. Seals, I hate to be the downer on my Eagles, but in the upcoming season, I see teams' plans against the Eagles to stop the run and double Smitty, knowing Jalen isn't going to run. That right there, in a nutshell, will be the case. What player got better after Howie traded them? I'll wait. Let's see. What player got better after Howie traded them? I don't really think you've traded anybody of significance. Who have you traded? Wentz had a great year in Indianapolis, but faded after that Indy year. I mean, thanks, Dan. AJ, blaming me? Oh, yeah, there you go. Milton Williams. And also Josh Sweat had better years. I'll wait. I'll wait. Good pull, my friend. I don't even know what Sirianni does. That's why the team lives and dies with the coordinators. Big time take. Hey, this is a great topic. Intern, the 49ers and the Rams They die with the head coach's decisions. Nick dies with 4 verts and an incompetent offensive coordinator. That's who he dies with. At least when Sean McVay makes a bad call, or if Kyle Shanahan makes a bad call, you're dying on the vine with those guys because they're competent coaches. You're dying on the vine with no competence. Think about that. When Kyle Shanahan fails, you're like, Kyle Shanahan, big moments, still a great coach. You're dying with Brian Johnson and with Kevin Patullo. Yeah. And John Harbaugh owns Nick. Eric Rowe played in the Super Bowl for the Pats versus us. Can't remember if he was traded or not. Milton Williams wasn't traded. We let him walk in free agency. Great take. You're right. How is it Nick's fault the quarterback avoid the middle of the field like the plague? It's not. That's another great take, Twiz. Hey, Twiz, let's ask this question. Do you think Jalen Hurts limits Nick Sirianni's offensive knowledge of the game? I'm going to ask Zander that one. What? That's right. That's right. That's right. But they're not doing that. They're not hiring coaches, Kim, to fix the quarterback skill set. They're not bringing anybody in to help the guy. And you know what he did the other day? He took pictures of Scott Loeffler, the former quarterback coach that he worked with a year ago. He was just fired 4 weeks ago. And the new guy, Parks Frazier, he gets a chance to see him right now. So he went to work and posted pictures of a guy who Nick fired 4 weeks ago. That's a shot at the head coach. I think the coach and the player are not on the same page. Right. Another great topic from Kim. What's the long-term goal? What's the long-term goal here? Kim Sills. Kim telling Sills, what's up? Okay. Hey, I'm for it. Fix it. They're not. Hey, who cares? She said, who cares? Well, who cares? If I'm bringing coaches in that don't help my quarterback in any way, who cares? I would care if I was Jalen Hurts. Institutional failure, she's saying. It is an institutional failure. When you don't bring in, here, so look at what Jim Harbaugh did for Justin Herbert. What did he bring in? He brought in one of the best-minded guys on schematics and putting wide receivers in a good spot in Mike McDaniels, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Brought him in because he wants better concepts for him to be able to throw the ball better and have a more proficient passing game. You're trying to elevate Justin Herbert by bringing in a very talented offensive-minded guy. By the way, Mike McDaniel was never going to go to work in Philadelphia for Hurts because he doesn't coach that style of quarterback. He coaches high volume. Players want the best. Here, you think Vic Fangio is a great coach, yes or no? We all know it's yes. Bobby King elevated your linebacking core. That guy's a great coach. Look at what Clint Hurtt has done to the defensive tackle position and to the defensive line. Great coach. Look what Christian Parker did with your secondary. Those are all great coaches. You hire nobodies on offense. That makes no sense. Jalen Hurts mostly never gets a coach that can coach his style of quarterback. Absolutely true. Sills, this goes back to the organization's meddling. Nick was stripped after 4 games his first year in 21. They gave up on it way too quick. 919 passing yards, 5 TDs, 26 rushing. Sacrifice development for wins. The quarterback has not been developed since 22. Here, in my opinion, Hurts went like this. 21, he got better and better. 22, he went off the charts. 23, he wobbled. First part of the season, he was really good because he was running it more. Second half of the year, that thing just tanked. Hurts has never been the same passer since the 10-1 2023 season. Is that fair? He's never been the same. Yeah, has it been right since? How in God's name can a guy get better when you were 29th in passing in 2024 and 23rd last year, and your team was the worst of all the playoff teams on third down? Bro, your time is getting limited on how many times I'm going to start going to stupid takes like that. He got better? If he got better, why didn't you keep the same coaches? Because defenses stopped him from running. Wink literally said it. Pay attention. Okay. You're telling me that because Wink said that teams stopped him from running, nobody stops Lamar Jackson from running? Well, then if Jalen can't run, he's finished. My wife just said, hey, Zander, my wife just said, I think that's what they're hoping for. They're just waiting for Hurts to die so they can move on. He's got no trade, and he's got no guaranteed money left. Absolutely true. She knows the game of the NFL. He's got no guaranteed money left, and they're trying to push him out the door. I'm becoming more convinced of this, that they're pushing him out the door. Tragic, right? Yeah. That's why Hurts posted that picture. I completely agree with her. They're pushing this guy out the door. They're not, when you don't hire anybody to help the guy, Sills, people don't get it. They keep trying to make Jalen into something he's not, and he's never been. Stupidity at its best. And you know what I'll say, Snoop? I'll say this to you. If you kept that guy the way he was before, he's a weapon. He was a weapon in 22. You couldn't defend the guy. How many times in those 3rd and 11s, guy picked up that 3rd and 11 and just broke backs? Pushing him out the door, trying to make him a traditional pocket passer. Hey, it's not how you drive. It's how you arrive. And that's how Hurts won all those games. Hurts' floor is 11 wins. All of a sudden, that's not acceptable for the Eagles. Don't you see it? This is not a take. This is what they're doing. Right. Hey, guys, I'm not giving you an opinion here. I'm telling you what they're doing. 5 quarterback coaches and OCs in 5 years. How many voices can you listen to that don't listen to you, Sills? Prince, you're on fire today. That's why I think he posted that picture with Loeffler. Sills. So Jalen can't learn the new offense or doesn't want to. I thought he was an intelligent quarterback. Hey, just because you're an intelligent quarterback, that doesn't mean Joe Burrow is going to all of a sudden, he's going to adapt to an RPO offense. Hey, another great take. My wife says, I guarantee you he knows the entire playbook. But Jalen's going to pick plays that make him successful. And like any quarterback would. Seals, do you think Hurts would thrive under a guy like Buddy that gives him more latitude, not a system? Yeah, I do. And you have Howie. And if you had Howie and Buddy together, okay, it would be magic. See this here? That is completely irrelevant, the ringless thing. Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks pro football has had in the last 15 years. Whether he wins the ring or not is irrelevant to how great he is. Of course you want him to. But no one will ever dispute how great the guy is. That's a dumb take. Hey, get this. Once again, winning Super Bowls, players are not paid on winning Super Bowls. There's nothing in your contract that says if I win a Super Bowl, I get this incentive. You know why? It's team driven. You're paid on individual accomplishments. Things you do, catches, yards, touchdown passes, Pro Bowls, all of that. You're not paid on wins. The top 10 quarterbacks, I keep telling you this, the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, nobody's won a Super Bowl. Here. So championships don't matter. Stop it. How in God's name can Joe Burrow win a Super Bowl when an organization like the Bengals refuses to do anything for the roster? He will never win. Myles Garrett will never win. You miss the entire point of team sports. You want to crown one guy, and Tom Brady doesn't win 6 Super Bowls in New England if Bill Belichick's not building that roster and finding players like Amendola or Edelman and building and being the greatest defensive-minded coach of all time. His game plans are in Canton on what a savant he was. By the way, I'm not debating this. Do you think it was his agent or inner circle told him to stop running after the quick stardom? It's really weird how it stopped all of a sudden. I think Jalen Hurts got a little bit ahead of himself here. And at the end of the day, I think the perception is when you look at Jalen Hurts, you don't see Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. You don't see Lamar Jackson. But again, he does it a different way. Hey, they're the ones changing away from the system. The offensive passing game has been terrible for 5 years. And they've had it. It's one of the worst passing games. Think about this. AJ and Devontae have their individual numbers and got paid. The unit suffered. They've never been a proficient offense. Except for 22. Outside of that, it's been one-dimensional. Either you run the ball well, you can't pass it well. You've only passed it one time well, 22. The rest of it has been at the bottom of the league. Here, look. In 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. You were the 7th worst passing game in 2021. In 2023, you were 16th. In 24, you were 29th. In 25, you were 23. As a unit, your passing game is not very good and predictable. Like I said, defense has stopped him from running. Hold the ends, kept him in the pocket, forced him to throw, turnover, 3 and outs. I'll tell you this too, John. At the end of the day, they took that backside read away by making sure the ends went as deep as the ball. Okay? Sills, so why doesn't Nicole Lynn just agree to trade Hurts? Lawrence got his wish. Problem is, Hurts post-trade cap hits. How he screwed himself backloading it. Yeah, probably so. Okay? The Bills were lower than the Eagles in passing attempts. Okay? That they don't really throw the ball as much because they were the number 1 run attack in football that year. Because of Josh Allen, because of what's his name? Cooks. They did what you did in 24. They lowered the number, but Josh Allen's numbers were still, when it came to completion percentage, high. So Sills rips the Eagles offense from last year. So the Eagles make changes. Sills is still bitching. Here's why we're bitching. You're not helping your quarterback. Making changes, you've got to change for the quarterback. So here, to Sean's take, do you think Sean McVay would change the offense because they got beat in the playoffs by Seattle? Do you think they're changing the offense in Los Angeles right now? Does anybody think they're changing the offense in Los Angeles right now? Because they got beat by Seattle. Hurts stopped running as much after he got the concussion versus Washington from the dirty hit. It's either him being scared or get hurt again or owner. I don't think he's scared. Sean McVay has other ideas. Nick doesn't. He's more creative as a head coach. Well, that goes back to, I think, Prince's take. You're a slave to your coordinator. If your coordinator's not very good, your head coach stinks. Seals, make the trade for Mac Jones now. The offense, no way. No way. I'm going to let Jalen Hurts run through the tape. Okay? No way. Seals, what's the biggest determining factor to winning games? Time of possession and turnovers. Hurts no doubt has to improve and knows who's on the field. We are too predictable. Right. You don't throw to the third wideout. You barely throw to your tight end. You have no screen game, and you have no intermediate passing game. You throw to Y, you throw to Z. Plain and simple. That's why your offense blows passing the ball. It's too predictable. There's nothing exotic about your offense. You got about 5 or 6 run plays, and you've got about 5 or 6 passes. And here's predictability. If the open lanes aren't there, roll right. They're not there, roll right. Throw it out of bounds. Okay? I mean, so here, let's go to this one. Has A.J. Brown, how much of a factor has A.J. Brown been to Jalen Hurts' success since he got here? When did he get here? 22? Let's see. 2022. They were 14-3. And they were what? They were 2-1 playoffs. Then they went to 11-6. They were 25-9. Then in 24, they went 14-3 again. Then this last year, they went 11-6. That's 50-18. That's 0-1. So it's 2-2. Then they went 3-0. That's 5-2. And then this 11-6. And they've been 5-3 in the postseason. So theoretically, if you add those 5 wins, A.J. Brown, in his 4 years as a Philadelphia Eagle, they've won 55 ball games, counting the playoffs, and 2 NFC championships, in a Super Bowl. What impact do you think he's had on Hurts? He's a huge reason for his success. Just throw it up, and usually he comes down with the ball. How many fourth down did he just throw up a prayer and he came down with? Especially backyard throws. Back shoulder throws. Sills, it's crazy how this is the only wide receiver situation that people are not looking at. AJ calling him a diva. Since winning clearly doesn't matter, everybody wants to point the fingers at Hurts. I'm asking you what kind of impact he had on the quarterback. If you know the quarterback has been confused via running, do you still want him to run or concussed? Yeah, but that's who he is, WP. Record without AJ or Lane is not good. Next 2 years, you're going to lose Lane Johnson and AJ Brown. Big Sills, look at the Eagles' record without AJ. Here, let me ask it. I have no idea. Let's see if we can get a number on that. I have no idea. So let me see here. What's the Philadelphia Eagles' record without A.J. Brown in a game? Let's see. What's the record? Let's go here. Barkley brought it all together. He did. But after the Super Bowl win, he knew his numbers were going to go and take a hit. AJ lame ducked Hurts, but rightfully so. He can't work with him clearly. Hate to see AJ leave, but it's ran its course, I guess. Still not as painful seeing Doc in a Broncos uniform. Seals letting Hurts play this out and unfortunate and ultimately failing at it will really damage his trade value. If they let Hurts prove he can do it, why would a team trade for him? If he can't do it, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. That's why I think Nicole Lynn and his agent, they're working also behind the scenes. If Howie Roseman has a plan, Nicole Lynn's not going to let Jalen Hurts fall on the sword if this thing and this disaster waiting to happen happens. This is a disaster. You're bringing coaches and players in that don't resemble anything you've done the last 4 years. They're bringing nobody in. And you fire Jeff Stoutland. How if you watch and send AJ to the Buffalo Bills to see if Allen can finally get to a Super Bowl after 9 years. That'd be better than Keon Coleman, I'll tell you that. Somebody is always willing to think they can be one. That's true. I agree. Thanks, Forrest. Lane Johnson, it's 18 and 27 all time. But AJ, it's 3-3. Sills, I'd rather us figure it out than have a disgruntled AJ. That's not a bad take, dude. Here, I even wrote this down. So, how are the Eagles better without him, AJ Brown? SS, I think to your point, at least the locker room calms down and maybe more focus instead of focusing on noise. It might, the lack of noise might help the team because you got a lot of noise right now. Hey, by the way, if you bring the guy back and AJ Brown somehow still stays, you're still winning 7 games. You know why? He don't want to be here. So whether you keep him or not, you're still winning 7. You think all of a sudden that guy's just going to be happy that you kept him? And you've been promising to trade him? Hey, yeah, now I got to stay here. And I hate everything that's going on. And an offense that doesn't fit the quarterback. You know what? I am really starting to, I am really starting to agree with this one here on both Hurts and with AJ. Why in God's name would AJ want to stay? Why would Hurts want to stay in a situation that doesn't resemble anything that they've done? Why would Jalen even want to stay? Take guys off, making one player happy. But Hurts is not a progressive reading quarterback. He's not good at reading defenses. That's not what he does. Yeah, well, Jalen Hurts is not Kobe Bryant. Good God. So why doesn't Hurts just sit out unless paid? Eagles, Howie can't do anything besides cut him. This is going towards a bad divorce. Dude, Kim, I agree. They're pushing this dude out. Seals, Jalen is my dog, but if Jalen, I'm telling my agent, lift my no trade because I wouldn't do that. Donnell, they would send him to the Jets. Bullshit. If I'm Jalen Hurts, dude, I've been at Alabama, I've been at Oklahoma, and I've been with the Eagles. I want to have a little control of my destiny to go to Houston, to go to Minnesota, or to go to some place that's got good roster. Don't send me to Tennessee. Don't send me to the Dolphins. Who in God's name? I don't want to go there. Jalen Hurts controls his own destiny. Send me to the Steelers. Send me to Pittsburgh. Give me an opportunity to have an organization continue to build some good players around me. Man, you take that no trade out, Donnell, they could send you to Cleveland. I apologize, Dan. We used to have a smart fan base. There must be people outside of Philly. Of course there is. There are not people in here. Dude, Jerry, you guys want to win. And you're one of these teams that has a really good general manager. I'd rather have a great general manager than a great head coach. Get me the right Jimmys and Joes. We'll figure the coach out. Okay? We'll figure that guy out. That's why they move off of coaches. Because you got the GM. And you got the owner that allows the moves to happen. He figured got caught. Just, you think we see a big move on draft night? No. Only wins guaranteed. Nick Sirianni's job, so he's always going to dictate things. He's going to try to ride the running game and throw it in necessity. That's not what they're doing here. Sean Mannion has been brought in. Let me get this right. So Sean Mannion has been brought in, and Zander's coming up at the bottom of the hour here. So wait a minute here. Sean Mannion has been brought in to improve the run game with a coach who was not renewed in Minnesota, with an aging O-line and an aging running back in Barkley. And you're going to do what this year? With 7 guys. How are you improving the run game? You think different schemes are going to make those players better? This comes down to the players, not the scheme. I talked to Dave Wannstedt the other day about this. My friends, end of the day, schemes aren't going to make those guys better. You got to have great football players. Jeff Stoutland couldn't do shit with what? Andre Dillard. If he's not a good player, he's not a good player. Nobody believes that. Only dumb fans believe that. Hey, if I have a great scheme, you know what? Here, I'm going to give you guys something. Hey, Zander, I wish to God we got to get Dave Wannstedt on. He said something interesting about Jalen Hurts. And hey, James, listen to this. So he said this about both my Miami Hurricane teams and the Dallas Cowboy teams they built to win 3 Super Bowls. So in a matter of 6 years, Dave Wannstedt won 4 championships in 6 years. Different scheme made the defense go from 31st to first. That's, folks, schemes don't make, players make schemes. That's dumb. Even Vic Fangio says that. Dave Wannstedt came on here and said that. So get this. According to him, this guy could take the practice squad unit, and if you have a better scheme, you would see no drop-off. Is that right, RC? That I could get the practice squad guys, sit my starters, and I would have the same number. Is that correct? Is that right? Is that right? So you could take practice squad guys. You could take practice squad guys. Wait a second. I asked you a question. So you believe that you could take practice squad guys? He just said Bond. Okay. So you believe that you could take practice squad guys and have the same effect that you would if your starters who are making $25 to $30 million a year, but it's scheme related. Is that right? Is that what you think? I gotta, so I can move on from this guy here. So you think if you run the same, okay, this shows you how dumb he is too now. He's in timeout. Can you imagine that, Kim? You can run the same rugby offenses. If you had like B players versus A players, you get the same result because the scheme's great. Okay. Yeah. Here's what Dave Wannstedt said. And this goes in to what Jalen Hurts was early. And this is what he said. He goes, when we had guys like Jerome and you and Benny Blades and all these guys, we didn't have complex plays. As a matter of fact, it was simple plays. The lesser the talent, the more the scheme and the coach, and the more the coaching you need. The better the players, the lesser the scheme. Not going to complicate it shit. Who? Of the players. That's right. He recognized the quality of the players, and he changed the scheme to fit the players. That's exactly correct. That's what Galen did. We went from a 34 to a 43 overnight. That's exactly correct. So what Dave Wannstedt said, Jace, what Dave Wannstedt said, once you have superstar players, you're not trying to complicate shit. And that's what the Eagles relied on for 5 years. You're not going to rely on that forever. Okay? He was like, eventually those players are going to get older, they're going to get hurt, and you're going to have more schematics involved to help them get open. Look at Tom Brady. When Brady was up in New England, he could win games with Wes Welker, Amendola, and Edelman. When he started not being able to win games like that anymore, what did he do? He went to Tampa. They had a young Mike Evans. They had a young Chris Godwin. He brought in Antonio Brown and he brought in Gronk. They had a really good old line. They had Bruce Arians that could throw and call plays. And Brady knew he needed better players around him. He was 44 years old. Brady saw the writing on the wall. Brady could elevate players younger. Same as Mahomes. They got to get more players around Mahomes. Hey, dude, nobody believes that, not even your own coordinator. Vic Fangio said, schemes don't win games. Players do. That's your own guy. How dumb. Just because you don't agree doesn't make you correct. But you ride the fence on everything just when you agree with Big Z. Yeah, that's how I've made my living. It's agreeing with everybody. What a dick. Sills, to be honest, this year we'll have to be a defensive team. But I'm still worried about safety because I can't count on Makuba to be healthy all year. Well, those are the kind of guys you draft. Seals, the scheme and the players tied together. West Coast is a great scheme, but if it doesn't work without great players because of the mismatch, that's where coaching comes in. Correct. Well, if I got Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to win a bunch of games. Thank you, James. Oh, wait to see you. Finally, Dick Train. Where are you, man? Good to see you, Dick Train. Hurts needs to sit out. No way. Not sitting him out. No way. He has every right to try to keep this thing going. He gets all 17 ball games in 2026 in my book. Queuing, there you go, Pietis. Q and Coop had a lot to do with the D going from 31st to 1st, you think? You added those two players from 23 to 24. You don't think they made a difference? You're damn right. Fabulous take, my friend. Not only that, Mahomes has had Reed from day one and still has him. Hey, Forrest, think of this. To go to what the point that I'm making here about what they're going to try to do. Hey, and by the way, Shady McCoy is just showing you the challenges now that Sean Mannion has. Now you're going to have it without A.J. Brown. Hey, Forrest, do you think they're adding to the offense in KC, or do you think they're firing the entire coaching way of doing things by running the offense? Because they had this is a great kind of a parallel. The Kansas City Chiefs didn't have a winning season last year. They had a losing record. You think they changed the offense this year? You think they changed the offense? Or you think they added to it? They're not changing shit in KC. You know why? They got Patrick Mahomes. Eric Bieniemy. They won 2 Super Bowls without that guy. Eric Bieniemy is as stiff as a coach, or he'd have been hired. After Reed, no one hired him. He got fired at UCLA. He's a stiff. That's why I think they're getting Sadiq. Can you explain how so many dream teams across history have failed? Chemistry, continuity, play calling. Just because you put a great bunch of players around. Think of this. Who do you think should have won? I don't know, Kim. I'd like to hear you. Who do you think should have won more Super Bowls? Manning? Edgerrin James? Reggie Wayne? Marvin Harrison? And Dallas Clark? And Tom Moore as the offensive coordinator? And Tony Dungy as head coach? They won 1 Super Bowl. Here's who Brady had. Brady had Edelman, Amendola, Wes Welker, and Gronk, and Belichick. The Colts had by far more talent. They had Marshall Faulk, too. And they won 1 Super Bowl. You tell me. It's about the right fits. Shit, Roethlisberger won more than Manning. Roethlisberger won 2 Super Bowls in Pittsburgh. Manning won 1. They underachieved. They won 1 Super Bowl with all that talent and Manning. Eli Manning won more than Peyton. And do you want to hear something about Eli? My wife loves Eli. You want to hear this about Eli? Eli's second Super Bowl, not one player on that offense will ever go to the Hall of Fame. He played with no Hall of Fame players. And he beat Brady and won twice against Brady. As a matter of fact, any one of his Super Bowls that he won, he never played with anybody of relevance that will go to Canton. Not one player, nobody Eli played with will go to the Hall of Fame on offense on the 2 Super Bowls that he won. What does that tell you? Coaching, continuity. Victor Cruz, who? Hey, Eli's Super Bowl. Look at this. Eli Manning Super Bowl roster. Eli Manning Super Bowl offense. They had Victor Cruz, Mario Manningham, Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, Plaxico Burress, Kevin Boss. They had nobody. Jake Ballard was the tight end. That guy won 2 Super Bowls with that bullshit. Jeremy Shockey wasn't on those teams. Here, I'm looking at the roster now. Maybe he was. Tight ends in the Super Bowls, I got Jake Ballard. I thought he was hurt. I thought Shockey got hurt for that Super Bowl. Yeah, offense. Sills, I've been watching film on Sadiq. He kind of reminds me of Heath Miller. I think Sadiq is going to be a better ball player. Hey, I didn't say defense. I said offense. Eli won 2 Super Bowls. Tell you how overrated Josh Allen is. Tells you how overrated winning the Super Bowl is. Eli Manning is nowhere near the superstar that Josh Allen is in talent. Nowhere near it. That's like saying that John Elway is the same and equivalent of Jim Plunkett, because Jim's got 2 Super Bowls. Jim Plunkett's won 2 Super Bowls with an MVP award. And Elway's 2 and 3 in Super Bowls. You're telling me that Plunkett's better or as good? The fuck out of here. John Elway's one of the top 3 talents to ever play. Marino's one of the top 3 talents ever to play. Allen's one of the top 5 talents to ever play. Not sure what you're talking about. Yo, Seals, what's our plan next week after Vic? That's my biggest concern. I keep hearing a reunion with Schwartz next year, you mean? I'd rather go with Clint. I think Clint will get I think he'll get a swing at the plate. I do. Oh, by the way, before Big Z comes up, I've got my NFC preseason rankings. My NFC East preseason rankings. Let me get this over here. By the way, Howard Eskin at 4:30. Yesterday was Angelo. Today we have Howard Eskin. So, here is my NFC East rankings. Are you ready? Number 4. The Washington Commanders. That sucks. Number 3. The New York Football Giants. Number 2. The Philadelphia Eagles. And number 1, The team that will win the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys, will win the NFC East. All right. Without further ado, how you doing? Damn. Oh boy. Oh, no AJ at voluntary workouts? The first time in 4 years. AJ's not there. Gee, I wonder what that means. Without further ado, my man from Birds 365, Big Z, Zander Krause joins us. 3 days out from the National Football League's draft. How you doing?
What is up, Big Sills? It's a beautiful week in the NFL world. A couple days out from the draft, man. It's going to be good. Going to be good.
141 days until the start of the National Football League season. 141 days, my friend.
141 days until the Philadelphia Eagles, Sean Mannion, Nick Sirianni, and Jalen Hurts inflict and impose their will on the rest of the NFL and the NFC East. That was a crappy rating by you,
Hey,
by the way.
By the way, Nick Sirianni and Sean Mannion, it sounds like a Guinea fireworks display going on somewhere at a 4th of July picnic. Nick Sirianni and Sean Mannion is going to explode into the league.
This is Paisan on Paisan crime, dude. You've ripped Nick Sirianni.
He's got an I at the end of his name. It's not an O, so it's all good.
All
Don't
right.
worry. He's probably a Northern Italian. He's more of a Frenchman. Anyway.
My maiden name is Conti. Conti.
What is Southern Nepali? What are they?
I had my grandfather. My grandfather was Southern. I think my grandmother was Northern. I don't know. One of them was from Parma.
Kind of Calabrese then.
The other one was from one of the bigger areas.
Yeah, probably Calabrese. A lot of folks Calabrese came over. All right. No A.J. Brown. For the first time in 4 years, he's not at voluntary workouts, which he's usually leading the parade. Anything, Big?
He's out of here. He's out of here. And you know what? My Eagle fan's going to come out. He's gone. I don't care about him anymore. He's as good as gone. So we got to figure out how the team's going to get better and how the team's going to go and prevail without the player, because he is one of the best receivers we've ever had. We did start winning a hell of a lot when that guy showed up. Now, I'm not saying he's the only reason. He did help Jalen become a much better quarterback. He helped a lot of things. So now it's, where do we go from here? Because I'm not, I don't really care that A.J. Brown's going to be playing for the New England Patriots or whoever it might be. So, God bless him. Hope he's got a great rest of his career. I don't have any hate toward him on his way out the door.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't have any. I mean, I thought he was right about the offense. I don't think he handled everything perfectly, but, it is what it is. He was super successful in Philly. So we'll see where they go. Sills.
All right.
Hey, Wicks, get the job done.
Who? Oh, okay. Yeah. What's his name? Donato Wicks? What's his name?
Dontavian. Howie called him Tay, so he's going by Tay now.
Hey. Howie. Okay. You know what? I think this has something to do with him being a Gator. I don't know. Anyway. So here's some LaShawn McCoy comments. Says he's heard from sources that the team has been running a basic offense because Jalen Hurts can't really do the more exotic stuff. I did a lot of digging, and I know I won't throw any people under the bus, but I know some people, and the people there are telling me he just can't run the exotic looks, different formations, different motions, because Jalen Hurts just can't do it. Do you agree with Shady?
To some extent. I mean, I don't think it's a perfect thing, but I think, to some extent. I mean, look, Hurts has been super successful. He has to be better in some areas. Obviously, McCoy. Where do I find these comments? I want to read them. I'm going to read them myself.
I got them posted up on my Twitter page.
I can go to your X. Are they on there?
X, yeah, they're on my X.
Did you retweet it or something?
Here, I'll do it right now. Boom, boom.
Let me see these.
There you go. By the way, you see that promo too I got going?
What promo?
Take a look at that thing. Hell, you know what, too? By the way, Jacob's been doing that shit for me for like 5 years.
I did a lot of digging on him. I mean, he said that. How long ago did he say that? He said that a long time ago.
He said that when he was on a different show on FS1, but he's recently just said this again. It's kind of getting regurgitated up, I think, because of
it definitely is. I mean, look, it is what it is at this point. You know, the article came out, Jalen doesn't, but you know, you got to work around that. I mean, I don't think that's the only way to have great success. They've had great success with Jalen. So look, it's similar to what I told you last year, what I thought coming into the year needed to happen. I don't think this team has a way out on offense without getting better in the passing game. So if Jalen's capable of doing that, I think the offense will be fine. If he's incapable of doing that, or incapable rather, I don't think it's going to get better, because I think Saquon and all of those things and being the run first team, I don't think that's going to get the job done anymore. I thought it coming into last year, and that's why I told you I thought Jalen was going to be an MVP, because it would flip from Saquon back into Jalen's hands. You still have Saquon, but I'm expecting a Miles Sanders type season, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Top 10 runner, 10 touchdowns, 12,
That's
13,
1,300 yards.
Yeah, 1,300 yards. That's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting this breakaway dominant running game. So if you don't have that, what's the next area, to get better? Jalen's got to throw the ball a little bit better.
I want to tell you something that Dave Wannstedt told me yesterday. You tell me if you think that this is where the Eagles have been. He kind of laid it out a little bit with Philly here on this. So I asked him about identifying players for the draft. He goes, this is what Jimmy and I always looked at. If we had a great roster like Philly has, we're not going to complicate it with complicated plays. We're going to go let you guys go play. Do you ever notice how basic? We never blitzed because you guys all got home. We never did anything exotic. But what happened when we weren't really as talented sometime? We coached it more. I think that's kind of where the Eagles are now. You're getting older. The offense needs more help because the players are getting older and more banged up. Whereas now you've got to add different schematics to your offense. The Eagles went as far as they could with the talent. Now what they're trying to do is extend the talent. That was Dave's take on what they're doing. Why? Because I've told him, I can't figure out what they're doing. He goes, they're trying to extend the talent by giving more and asking more of the offense, which means the passing game. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes complete sense. I mean, that makes complete sense. And I think he's 100% right. And look, you can, if people out there think it's schematics, I think there's, to me, it's not black and white, right? Like, for example, there's great teams who have great rosters who don't go the distance because there's a confluence of factors there. It's not one factor. It's not just scheme. It's not just players. It's leadership. It's personality. It's mesh of players. It's relationships in the building. There's a lot of different things that go into it. So I don't think it's all scheme or all one.
You need better coaching in the NFL than you
need. I think they need better coaching, 100%. But I also think that the players need to have some accountability as well and also step it up. That goes for the run game. That goes for the pass game. That goes for Jalen Hurts. It goes for A.J. Brown. If he were to be here, it goes for all of them. It's not only, to me, replace Kevin Patullo, or improve on Kevin Patullo. It's improve on Patullo, improve on the quarterback, improve. And that means them playing better. That doesn't necessarily mean a new player. It just means they got to play better. And if they don't, dude, then I think the owners showed you that he's quick enough and impatient enough to probably make a change after the year.
Let me ask you the last 2 years. Where would the Eagles be without Vic Fangio the last 2 years?
It's a great question. I think they'd be good still. I don't think they'd be this good. I mean,
they'd have won a Super Bowl without Vic?
Because the defense was just that good that year. And like in Vic's case.
And I thought last year without him, they wouldn't have been good.
Right. I don't think Vic. You have to be consistent, right? I mean, if I said that about the offense, I don't think Vic is solely responsible for the accomplishments in 2024. But coaches take you that next step, right? That nth degree higher. So if that defense would have been a top 5 defense from personnel, it was Vic who got them to the level of Patrick Mahomes can't get past midfield for 10 drives straight in the Super Bowl. That is extreme, the extreme level that Vic was able to take them to. But dude, they got a lot of talent on defense. I mean, think about it. They've let more talent on defense walk than some teams have altogether.
Do you agree last year the team played like a top 10 defensive football team by the end of the year?
I thought so.
Me too.
I know they weren't there statistically, but I thought they were.
They were 11th.
Were they? Is that what they were?
Yeah.
Well, remember they had the other opposing teams had the ball a lot because the Eagles got a lot of 3 and outs and couldn't stay on the field. So that's gonna skew numbers when you're a defense. But yeah, they were a top 10 unit to me.
Okay, so I mean, name me another dynamic where the head football coach is not the most important coach in the building.
Well, I mean, and the coaches, you can make this argument. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan are the most important coaches in the building, but they have a lot of the problems that the Eagles haven't had in terms of being a head coach. I mean, when you pan the camera to Sean McVay,
they're play callers,
right? So I'm just saying, there's pros and cons to both.
But here's the one thing.
You're right, though, that I'd say Vic is more important than Nick.
But the last 2 years, especially.
But does Vic exist without Nick?
Again, who put him in the building as a consultant in 22? Who hired that?
I'm not talking about him making the decision. I'm more talking about the system in which Vic was able to thrive. You think that's entirely?
I think that's entirely Nick's system or Vic's system.
No, I'm not talking about Vic's system. I'm talking about Vic has been a coordinator on many teams. Not all of them turned into the number 1 defense.
I don't think he's had this type of autonomy like this.
Right. So is that a system or a setup that's created by Nick, or you think that's more from the organization?
I think that's more from the organization. And I'll ask because, how come there's no hires or there's no anything meddling from Nick or Howie or anybody when it comes to in-game? I don't see him on the horn talking to Vic about what Vic's doing on 3rd and 6. He's not getting in the room.
No, because Vic's going to tell him to shut up.
That's right. My point is that where would this football team be without this guy? Nick Sirianni is a slave to the play caller he has every year. If the guy's somewhat competent, they're great. If they're not, he's awful with no decision making. I'm saying the way they run their coaching staff on offense, Nick Sirianni hasn't been able to even develop as a head coach. I mean, Zander, here, let's one thing on Nick here too. How much do you think that Jalen's inability to be able to run complex offenses has hurt Nick Sirianni's development as a play calling head coach?
Oh yeah, a lot. A lot. Took away his fastball.
I thought about it last night.
I mean, you took away his fastball, so he can't do that anymore. He can't coach the way Nick Sirianni. I mean, it's actually a great point. Developmental curve, right? I mean, he was building an offense around Phillip Rivers. Then he comes to Philly, and it's like, whoa, now I got to relearn how to coach the RPO. I can't do that. Let me go get Shane Steichen, or let me put Shane Steichen in charge of it. Maybe that's a good point. Wow. What could Nicholas be?
I saw him with Phillip Rivers. He had his greatest year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, and Frank Reich gives him a lot of credit for that. Frank says this guy is great in designing pass routes, getting people open. I mean,
the question John always asks about the guy like McVay is like, if they're all so much better than Nick, why can't any of them beat him?
Okay. Here's something that I brought up earlier then. That's a great question. I'm not going to dispute it. When Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan lose a game, or John gets after Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan for not having good clock management, you're ripping those two coaches. That's one thing. When you're giving me 4 verts and it's Kevin Patullo, bro, there's a different conversation. You're losing with Kevin Petullo. I'm losing with Sean McVay. I'm going to win more fucking games with those coaches than I am with Kevin Petullo that matter. It's one thing to sit there and go, hey, you're right. Kyle could do a better job at clock management. He let that Super Bowl get away from him against the Patriots when he was the OC. McVay had some meltdowns against the Bears. He also had another one in another game, in a playoff game, that you questioned his play calling. Even the last year's Eagle game at the end there, when he got conservative in the last part of the third quarter and into the fourth, we were all going,
yeah, I just don't feel. I mean, Nick's never been outcoached in those games.
What?
I never thought Nick was completely outcoached in some of those games.
I never thought Nick coached anything in those games.
I mean, all right, TJ. Man, a lot of people just think this guy's really along for the ride. I mean, I have a hard time believing that a head coach can be truly along for the ride, but maybe.
Well, Jimmy went for the ride. Jimmy wasn't. You think Jimmy called play calls over North Turner?
Well, no, but Jimmy. Well, that's what I mean. Jimmy was responsible for everything around it that allowed that play calling to thrive.
And he would jump their ass Monday morning, going, "That sucked. We need to do this. We wanted to go here." You know, but the difference is that Jimmy had complete autonomy over the entire operation. Nick doesn't.
Well,
I don't know how you could be a great coach when you don't have a lot of say in a lot of things, like your own personnel.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. My whole thing with Nick is you hired an offensive coach, and if you want to believe what's true, you can't run any complex offenses. Like you just read the quote from Shady McCoy. Doesn't, in a way, that make Nick more creative, better? I figured out how to win with less complexity, with less schematics, with less talent, with less arm.
He took Dave's mentality.
Let me ask you this. How good would Sean McVay look if he couldn't pass the ball at the clip he passes the ball? How good would Kyle Shanahan look if he was limited to running an RPO offense or a pseudo RPO offense?
He tried it.
So that's all. I'm just saying, look at the other side. That's not to say that it's a complete cop-out or bailout for Nick Sirianni, but I don't know, dude. That's pretty impressive. That's like, I use the phrase, take away your fastball. That's like a pitcher pitching a
perfect game.
A perfect game without a fastball. Right.
Right. With curveballs and breaking pitches. You're not throwing a Nolan Ryan heater in there.
Some people like Sileo will look and say, throw the fastball. You can't do what everybody does. Throw the fastball. The people with the noggin will say, look at that. Look at that versatility. Look at that ability.
You know what I say? Mr. Roseman, thank you very much for putting talented players on my roster.
That's true. That's true. It's not the perfect analogy.
Mr. Roseman, thank you very much for putting those guys. All right, Big Z. How are the Eagles better without AJ?
They're not. But he didn't make them great last 2 years, so can also make an argument he wasn't the reason that you were on the pedestal. I mean, let me ask you. Eagles were, let's use 2024 where they were.
They're 25-9 the last 2 years with AJ on the team.
Okay. Let's use 2024 instead of 2025. If you ranked the most important players for the team's success, for the offensive success in 2024, where would you rank A.J. Brown?
Okay. I would rank Barkley number 1, and I would rank A.J. number 2.
Oh, that's asinine.
Okay.
You do not believe that.
Here's why, folks. When you've got a threat out there like that, and you've got to constantly account for that threat.
Here we go with the pseudo threat, the invisible threat.
You think it's any coincidence that there was another guy who had 2,000 rushing yards?
You're telling me the threat on the outside is more important than
you're telling me
Landon Dickerson?
You're telling me that you think that Barkley would have ran for 2K if you didn't have A.J. Brown on the team? Never happened.
Never happened without Jordan Mailata.
Never happened.
And Lane Johnson. And
never happened.
Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson.
Oh, I see. So you had those guys last year, but what'd they do?
They were a shell of themselves. That's the point.
They missed 3 games last year combined.
My whole point is that the team has not been held up, by A.J. Brown recently. You've been saying it for 2 years.
Hang on. You're telling me you don't think AJ being out there is not the
No,
second?
that's not what I'm saying at
Okay.
all.
So if you were ask yourself this: if you were game planning the Eagles, who would you game plan right now as your top three concerns on your football team heading into an Eagle game? Who would they be?
Saquon, Jalen's legs, and Goddard.
No,
Or
Jalen's legs.
or
Jalen's legs are non-factor anymore.
well, but you still want to take it away because that's what defenses do, so they can turn him into a passer.
So you think Jalen's legs are more of something you're going to game plan against?
And that's not what I said. I said they're more important for a defense to take away.
Okay.
Because if a defense can take that away, you force Jalen to be a passer. If you try and take away AJ Brown, you're going to lose half the time.
If I'm game planning the Eagles right now, you're telling me, give me an order, the players of concern to you on a game plan.
Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts' legs, and then AJ Brown.
But Jalen doesn't run anymore.
It's still a big part of the puzzle.
Dude, they're not game planning
The
him.
threat of it still exists, Sills.
They're not game
All
planning.
right, so you're telling me that that defenses aren't even trying to stop him running the ball anymore? That's BS, dude.
They don't have to. He doesn't run it. He ran 130 times last
year. He didn't run it as much because the defenses were taking it away. They had 8, 9 guys in the box.
Bro, they took what away? You couldn't get anything going for. So wait a minute. They stopped Barkley and Hurts?
You're missing what I'm saying. You're asking.
I am.
You're saying that the two best players that you take away are Saquon and then AJ. I agree with that. I'm saying if I'm a defensive coordinator, it's more important to me to make sure that Jalen Hurts never runs because that impacts every other play. If I try and take away AJ Brown, I might be successful half the time.
Hurts was a non-factor last year in the run
You
game.
Still have to take
and I don't think teams were even in the mix of trying to stop him.
They were trying to stop it.
They didn't run. He didn't run.
So you're saying his decline in running had nothing to do with defenses?
I'm saying defenses are not game planning him anymore.
AJ is the biggest weapon, Trey Daniel, but that's not in this offense. He's not.
He's the second best.
You can be the second best weapon, but if you can't pass the football well to begin with, that significantly decreases the impact of that said weapon. If you have Matthew Stafford and you have AJ Brown, you better take away AJ Brown.
So when I'm lining up on third down and it's 3rd and 7, am I more concerned about Jalen Hurts or AJ?
That's a passing play, though. That's a passing play.
3rd and 5.
That's circumstantial football, though. I mean, if you want to play circumstantial football, well, obviously on third down,
football is
situational.
It's situational.
That's true, but you can have a overall philosophy about a game, about a game plan for how you want to approach it. If I was playing the Eagles, I would say make Jalen Hurts throw from the pocket. Their offense will get 30% worse across the board.
Okay, we're going to agree to disagree that I think
you don't agree that if you make Jalen Hurts play in the pocket,
I don't. Hurts is for me as a runner is a non-factor because they're not doing it as a unit.
So teams treat Jalen Hurts like he's Jared Goff now?
Why? That's how you guys are playing him. You're playing him that way.
That's the point.
I know the point.
They're stacking the box.
That's why AJ for me is the second most important weapon I have to stop on a slant.
Dan, you're talking like it's 2023 when AJ Brown was the reason the offense was successful. AJ Brown was not the crux of the offense the last 2 years, dude. If you have lesser impact as a player on the offense, you're
even less.
Getting rid of that player is going to have less of an impact on them.
Very little impact at all on the offense the last 2 years. It's why they're changing.
He touches the ball every play.
Bro, 2,900 yards and 18 TDs and the 25th worst passing attack last year. The guy really?
Dude, that's precisely my point. They're not that good of a passing attack. So
Okay.
losing AJ Brown's not as big of a deal because the passing attack's not that good.
Well, then you should win 12, 13 games without AJ this year. With
That's
Hurts.
not. Oh, come on. How do you
Well,
get that from what?
you can't
How
have
do you
both.
conclude that from what
How
I said?
can you have both?
The
How
whole
can you
point
sit
is
there
that
and tell me AJ's a non-factor, but if he's not
no,
on the
my
team,
whole point is not that AJ's not a factor. My whole point is that they're not a passing first team.
yeah,
So if you significantly hurt the passing game, it's not going to have as much of an impact because they're not
Okay.
that big of a passing team to begin with.
I completely disagree that AJ's not the second most important person on that offense. No. Hurts is not.
Again, all right. We're arguing different things. That's fine.
I
I never said that. I never said he wasn't ever.
Okay. Well, no, you told me Hurts's wheels were second.
No, for the most important thing to take away because the offense gets worse overall by taking away that. Yes, to me.
Okay. Let's go here with another one here. So, how much impact do you think AJ had on the success of Jalen Hurts?
A big impact. Absolutely. Very big impact. I mean, Jalen really took off when AJ showed up. You know, again, you're talking about 23 right now, and you're losing AJ. We're in deep shit. But AJ was the whole offense in 22 and 23. He had 1,500 yards.
Take AJ off that dynamic now. How do you think this offense with Sean Mannion will look?
Well, year 2 of Jalen starting has got to be different than year, what is it, 6 or 7? 6.
7.
No, 7 in the league.
Is it 7? Wait. No, he's been starting since 21. It's 6. You're right.
6 starting. So, he's got to be a different quarterback now. You got to be able to spread the ball. You're not developing anymore as a passer in year 6. You were doing that in year 1 and 2. So AJ made him take a humongous jump. But, if we're being kind of honest, that jump is kind of stagnated. I mean, 21 to 22 was an enormous jump for Jalen Hurts throwing the football. I thought the biggest of his career by far, even bigger than when he went to Oklahoma because Oklahoma was wide open fields. I thought Jalen really threw the ball well in 22. After that, you could probably make an argument it's plateaued. Now, there's other variables. Saquon's a variable in that. The loss of Shane Steichen's a variable in that. A lot of different things are variables in that. Maybe Nick Sirianni's offense is a variable in that. But I think, don't you agree? I mean, he took a huge jump, and I think it's plateaued. The development as a passer.
No, I thought after when you and I were talking in the first year, after the first 5 games, was it? I thought after Shane got a hold of him, he went like this. He was just skyrocketing up. And then when Shane got him in the second year, he just kept going like this. When Shane left, it started out well at the top, at the 10. He kept getting a little better. Then it just plummeted. And I don't think he's been the same since you were 10-1 and 23.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean,
you've had spot moments where he's been exceptional in those Super Bowls. Okay, but other than that, I mean,
it's been pretty pedestrian. It's been pretty pedestrian.
Okay, so AJ not being in the offense, who does that hurt more, Hurts or Sean Mannion?
Probably Hurts. Hurts isn't a progression guy, so he really
Hurts has the experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's both. The answer is both. But if you're going to force me to pick one, I think it's Jalen. I mean,
see, I think it's going to hurt Mannion more.
Well, it's going to hurt Mannion more because at the end of the day, if it hurts, it hurts Mannion. You get that. I'm talking about from like the scheme, like if he's drawing up a scheme, you can get guys that can run that. That doesn't mean they're going to do it as well, but you can still create your offense, without AJ Brown. If you're Jalen Hurts and you're so used to having a safety blanket like that, and instead of now being able to go to Dontavian Wicks every play or Devontae Smith every play, you got to spread the football to 3-4 guys. That's going to me, that impacts the quarterback more.
Let me do a positive Jalen Hurts topic. Are you ready?
You don't have that in the chamber.
It's locked and loaded.
No, you don't.
Is it possible not having AJ makes him a better and develops him more as a quarterback? Because then he's got to not have a primary target.
Wait a second. So even asking a question, if there's a world that exists where Jalen could get better, that's the best form of positivity you're going to get from
Well,
Sileo.
Mahomes got better without Tyreek.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Josh got better.
There is a world that's possible. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Do you think that Sam Darnold and that Seattle Seahawks offense got better without DK Metcalf?
Well, Sam Darnold wasn't there the year before, so it's hard to compare.
You think their offense got better?
Their offense definitely got better, but was that because they got rid of DK Metcalf, or is that because they added Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba was a developing player? You know, I know a lot of people think Devontae can beat Jackson Smith and Jigba, but do you think Devontae
JSN got better though without him?
JSN did,
yeah,
but how much of that was relying on the passer? Like, can Devontae Smith take the step forward he needs to in this offense?
I don't believe he's a one.
Think about it. The one that wants out of here precisely because he wasn't getting the ball enough. So you have to also factor in now that you think the offense can be good enough to develop Devontae into a one.
No,
I don't know. I mean, AJ wants out of here, and he was a one.
No, I think Devontae in Kansas City is a superstar one.
I think Devontae in Kansas City would be fucking crazy.
He'd have 1,600 yards every year.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good. But please, I don't want to talk. I don't want to think about that.
Well, anybody, you know what? I think he'd be a 1,500-yard guy with Baker Mayfield. I mean, anybody that has high volume, 5, 6.
They don't use him right in Philly.
No,
not at all.
You know why? They don't move him around enough.
They should be moving him around. They should be
over.
They should be. He should be running mesh routes and slants routes all day.
Yep.
I mean, you dump that ball up to him 5 yards past the line of scrimmage when he's cut, when he's getting upfield, that's where he turns on the jets. That's where he gets around the edge. That's where he beats cornerbacks. I mean,
I know
they don't do that at all.
I know he's not built like Puka Nacua, but they need to use him like Puka Nacua. I'd fucking run that guy on jet sweeps. Remember how they ran Brandon Ayuk? I guarantee you, if Smitty was in San Francisco, you think he'd be a 1,500-yard receiver in San Francisco?
Yeah. There's a couple places. Yeah, with Kyle. I think he would be with McVay and Stafford. I think he would be with Andy and Mahomes. I don't know that he would be in Buffalo because Josh is not really that type of player. Yeah.
No. I don't think he'd be that way in Baltimore.
No, definitely not. He would maybe be that way, maybe in Cincinnati. But boy, he likes Jamar Chase over there. I mean, that guy throws the ball to Jamar a lot. So he'd be the two there, So I'd have to look at what T. Higgins has done, but probably not going to do much better than T is doing.
How about Smitty in Los Angeles with the Chargers?
Yeah, that would work out well too, especially with McDaniel there now. And look, that's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping Mannion can be, but. You do have to have the quarterback that can execute that effectively, consistently. So, a lot of people think Jalen can. I don't have a problem with you thinking he can. To me, it's a tough sell, that a guy in year 6 is going to be able to run that type of offense. So
he hasn't shown it.
Yeah. So what do? I mean, how do you get better if not that? Well, I think they can get better without that. I don't think that's the only way to get better. I also disagree with that. It's not the only way to get better. Is to run Kyle Shanahan's offense or whatever the hell you want to call it.
You think that the Eagles have held Jalen Hurts back individually?
Yeah, but isn't that it?
Because I'll say this to you, watch. I think the Cowboys held Troy Aikman back on what he could have been more of.
Right. So with that being said, that's a great one to bring up. Isn't this kind of the nature of when you want to win? When you want to win big, look at all the greats who've won big. Almost all of them sacrifice. For example, Troy Aikman sacrificed. No, people pull up his numbers all the time.
Terrible.
Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in 2024, all of them had pedestrian numbers. Super Bowl. Maybe there's a theme there where when you truly want to win big in this team game, if you're unwilling to sacrifice some level of your development or statistical output, you will not be as successful as a team as you could be. And look, I'm sure there's many players out there who don't care about the team and they want, T.O. is probably a great example. That guy probably won at 1,600 yards every year, and he didn't really give a shit. Now, I think he wanted to win too, but you get my point. I'm sure there's players out there,
Brady never won with a primary target.
Brady's an interesting example because he was actually the only guy who didn't. Like, it seems that there's one that doesn't take statistical hits. With the Cowboys in the 90s, it was probably Emmett, right?
Why do you think Brady never took statistical hits?
Because they had rotating deck at receiver and a bunch of guys.
And they had a short dump-off passing game that's how they won. Bro.
Yeah, but my point with them is they didn't rely on one talent. They rotated that talent. Brady was the constant,
But what they did was they threw to everybody.
Yeah, they did.
Brady threw to everybody.
He threw to a lot of people.
But remember what they called him? The check down king.
Well, I'll take 5,000 yards on checkdowns over 2,900 on no checkdowns.
Do you know that's the reason why I tell you Hurts will never throw for 4,000 yards? It's not because they can't.
Yeah.
They don't have the game to do it.
Well, is that something that they, I think that should be, look, I don't know what it is. It must be harder than I'm thinking because I'm not going to sit here and be naive to a game that I don't play NFL.
Did he have a check down game at Alabama?
My point, it seems that, no, not really. I mean, the check down for Jalen was running the football, dude.
Okay.
He had 800 rushing yards,
Yeah.
So it's weird though, Sills, because common sense would, I guess not common sense, but just the casual viewer would say, check down should be easy, right? You're dumping the ball off.
Yeah.
But Carson Wentz, he couldn't check the ball down to save his life, dude. He used to throw the ball over people, under people, beside people.
Dude, Marino too.
Through people. Jalen struggles with the check down. It's something I wish he would be better at. Not because I want him to get more yards. I think it'd help him as a player.
Opens up the offense more.
Opens up the offense, doesn't put everything on him, right now the offense, think about it. That's why 2024 this wasn't the case, but if you look at the passing offense for the Eagles, it's either big play downfield or Jalen Hurts runs and picks up 12, 15 yards. Or else it's kind of ugly. Like there is no in-between game. There is no medium game. There is no easy wins. There's nothing easy. It's either complete a go route, complete a 13-yard out, a 10-yard out, or a comeback, or a deep ball.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. Throw into the numbers.
I mean, they got to give themselves some easy wins.
Yeah. That's why you struggled on first down.
That's true. Brian's right. Goddard did take some checkdowns this year.
And remember, they also ran them on those jet sweeps a little bit, which was creative. They just don't have a short passing game. That's a great take, Zander, where you're saying they don't give themselves enough of a shot to win first down a year ago by giving in the simple wins. It's either run right, run left, throw to the numbers. That's a tough way to go, dude. Let your athletes fucking make space and make some noise.
Yeah, so people are saying to use checkdown. I think there's a difference, though, between checkdowns at the last second and designed screens. Like how many times, Chris Scott, in your life did you watch Brady hike the football and within 2 seconds, maybe even 1.5 seconds, that ball's coming out to somebody in the flat? Absolutely. Stuff like that, the screen game, just little stuff like that where you get people the ball, you get wins, and then also the check down where you're, 3-4 seconds and busted, nobody's open and you check it down. That's true too, but I don't think that worked very well for the Eagles.
I want to go back and ask you something about AJ and Barkley. Who do you think has still gasoline left in the tank?
AJ or Barkley?
Yeah.
I think both of them have some gas left. I think AJ has more gas. But with the knees, you never know. Running backs scare me. They always have. I mean, running backs at 30, that's a dangerous game, dude.
If you were to bet on what guy would be a Pro Bowler this coming year, would it be Barkley or AJ?
Well, what team are they on? Both on the Eagles?
Sure.
I'd say Barkley.
So you think Barkley has a better shot?
Now, if you say AJ's on the Patriots, or I don't even want to use the Patriots because I think Drake May's got a Pro Bowler.
Any team.
The Rams, I think he'd be the Pro Bowler.
There's one other team that's kind of sneaking into the mix. It's the Chargers.
Yeah, they might be good this year.
Yeah.
But,
I like the assist. I like the hiring of Mike McDaniel.
yeah, look, I mean, Herbert, he's got to handle himself in the big moments. You can't turn the ball over as much as he has in playoff games. Now, I'm not saying everything is on him. I think some fans are crazy with that, where the team loses a playoff game and it's all one player. But he's got to be better in those big moments. You can't turn the ball over that much, man. I don't care who's on your team. I don't care what your offensive line's like. You can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to win a playoff game.
Hey, real quick before I get to the NFC East here, I'm gonna what I think they're gonna do here. What is it now?
Your NFC ranking was trash.
My NFC ranking East was spectacular.
You had the Cowboys won.
Oh yeah, they're gonna win the East.
What has the Cowboys done to be won?
It's what you've done. You've lost 4 starters.
Hope.
4 starters you lost.
Hope.
4 starters.
Potential for the
4.
Cowboys. Your favorite word, potential.
No. What you did was you lowered your talent level.
The Eagles just had one of the worst seasons, and they won 11 ball games.
Okay, well, guess what?
When the Cowboys have a bad season, they win 4 ball games.
And get this, and you lost 4 significant starters and a star player.
It is directly contradictory to your fundamental broadcasting beliefs to pick the Cowboys to win the East.
I didn't say they'd go far. I did say they'd go far.
You picked them to win the East. They're not
regular season wonders, dude.
I will take a bet on air for something fun that the Cowboys will not win the East. I don't care. It's Cowboys or the field.
We'll think of something.
Cowboys will not win the East. I will take that bet right now.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you. We're gonna go with yours in a minute here. I'm gonna make this prediction on the draft choices of the NFC East teams. I'm going to say that the New York Giants at 5 and 10 will take the Miami offensive tackle at 5. I disagree with John. It's Carnell Tate to me on the other side of Neighbors.
John, he did run a 4.6, dude.
It's okay. I think Carnell Tate's the best receiver in the draft.
Me too. I do too. I do think Tyson's interesting.
Yeah, but they got that speed guy in Neighbors already. Okay? They got the speed guy in Neighbors. So here's my other guy. Cowboys.
Neighbors isn't a speed guy. He's a possession receiver. He's not a speed receiver.
Oh, no. Yeah, he ran a 4.4. Cowboys. I got Caleb Downs.
Yeah, he ran fucking 4.35.
Yeah, dude, he's a speed guy.
That motherfucker's fast. He doesn't strike me as that player, though, right?
Bro,
like he's not
a speed guy, though, man. I knew he was quick. He ran one of the fastest 40 times. And now you get the guy on the other side. You got to help your quarterback. So they're going to get Tate and
so this year you're picking the Couch Boys after picking the Communists last year.
Hang on, let me get through this here, and then we'll go over there because I see you're dying to get there.
4.35 is pretty quick, Brian. Oh, that's pretty quick, dude.
I've got the Eagles taking Kenyon Sadiq. I don't know if it's a 23. They may have to move up to get his ass. And I've got the Washington Commanders. I'm going to take that Buccaneer back, that Bucks thing back. And I've got Washington taking Jeremiah Love. Commanders, they need some talent.
I think the Cowboys would benefit more from Jeremiah Love.
You don't think Washington getting some heat off of Daniels from running and putting Love in there?
That would help them. Their offensive line stinks. Guy they drafted last year was mediocre. Laramie Tunsil's another year closer to retirement and is already not that good.
That's a great point. So the guy that Washington drafted last year was mediocre. You think you're drafting a guy at 23 at offensive tackle?
You think every guy picked at 23 overall is the same guy?
No, Chris Cooper.
Wait. Okay, here's the rebuttal. Well, which team has the better drafting record?
Who drafted a stiff guy in the
question.
Who drafted a stiff in the first round?
Question.
Okay. You had Jeff Stoutland then.
You're talking to me like the Eagles are drafting like the Communists.
They got got a guy named Chris Cooper picking now.
They got me this draft horribly.
Chris Cooper. They drafted the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. Here we go. Z. My NFC East predictions.
Trash.
At number 4, the Washington. I think the division, first and foremost, I think the division is going to be pretty competitive this year. Got Washington 4, the Gigantes. At number 3. At number 2, the Fading Eagles. The number 1, the Dallas Cowboys will win the NFC East. Here's why. I got to give you my reasoning. You lost starting end, starting LB. You've lost a starting safety, and you lost a star receiver in AJ. Who are you replacing him with? Juju Smith-Schuster? Or what's the guy's name? Elijah Moore. Hollywood Jackson.
All right, I think the Giants will be 4.
Huh? Too many changes.
No. It's nothing to do with the changes. I think the changes
it's
are
quarterback. You think he's a stiff?
Yeah, I think he's a stiff.
Okay.
I think Jackson Dart. I'm putting him on my bust alert. He is a stiff.
Huh?
You take away that guy. That dude had so. Yeah, he had so many creative. Yeah, really limited. Way more limited than Hurts, I think.
Way more limited.
He does not throw the ball that well. Dude. Now, he can break away, but he doesn't look like he's held up.
Jalen Hurts is Patrick Mahomes compared to that guy throwing the ball in the pocket.
I just don't like Dart that much. All right. I digress. I want passers. Like, I want my quarterback to be able to do the things that a quarterback. Like, what do you want your receiver to do? You want your receiver to be able to catch the ball and run routes and be fast. What do you want your running back to do? You want him to be able to run the football. What do you want your left tackle to be able to do? To pass block and run block. You know what I want my quarterback to be able to do? Throw the fucking football like one of the best in the world at doing it. That's what I want.
On time.
Yes, that's part of it.
You want to have a quarterback throw the ball on time.
Yes, and I don't see that with Dart. But I got Giants 4. I got Commanders 3. I got Cowboys 2. I got Eagles 1. I think that's what it is right now. I think that's Cowboys have to prove it still. They had a good offense, but they might be the classic case of what you talked about. A bunch of dudes with a bunch of numbers, and it's not equating to enough winning. Somebody's got to sacrifice something for that team to take the distance. Maybe they don't need 5,000 yards of passing and 1,500-yard receivers everywhere.
They need a better
Maybe they need 1,500 yards on the ground. Maybe they need a balanced attack. So I think they have a lot to prove. The defense, I do think, has gotten a lot better. I think the Cowboys – this is what I think the Cowboys –
Would it be fair to say this? The defensive personnel got better. I don't know about the unit getting better yet. And I think Christian Parker's going to help.
The Cowboys finished last year with 7-9-1. I think they arrive with a double-digit win year this year. I do think they'll be 10, that better.
Like 10-7?
10 wins.
How many wins are you leaning on with the Birds?
Between 11 and 12, somewhere in there, 11 and 12.
So it's going to be pretty competitive in the East then.
Oh, definitely. I do not think it's a runaway division. I will say Prince is right. I mean, winning 3 years in a row is going to be very tough to do.
Oh my God!
But Prince, I agree. It's an uphill battle for the Birds, but dude, I'm not that enamored by what the NFC East has done. Like, for example, I look over at the AFC West where you do have those Chargers. Is that the West? That's the West, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Chargers. I mean, dude, that's a team that got better. Like, I don't see that. The Giants are like, all right, they hired a new coach. They traded away Dexter Lawrence.
Man, does that kill?
I mean, that GM has botched every single player worth a damn. Every single contract for a player worth a damn, Joe Schoen has botched. The Commanders.
You think Kansas City's going to bounce back?
I don't know to the level that people think. I think they're going to bounce back, but I don't know that I see them being.
Is it because of the division with Denver and the Chargers in it.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's a tough division, dude.
Yeah.
Denver's a good team. I mean, so are the Chargers.
Best division in football is the NFC West.
Yeah, with the Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks. Yeah, that's a fucking division, dude.
You see, too, that Fred Warner's
I think the
back
Niners are going to be kick-ass this year.
Oh, you see Fred Warner's back on the field with no limitations?
Dude, the Niners are making some moves. What have the Niners done this offseason?
They added Mike Evans. He'll help a lot. They're still going to be.
Remember, they traded for Osa for interior help from the Cowboys.
Right.
Drake Greenlaw, linebacker. They got Mike Evans. They got Christian Kirk to be another receiver. They just extended Trent Williams.
Yep.
I mean, I think they're
see
in
what
a pretty
they gave
good
him.
spot. By the way, Christian Kirk is a perfect receiver in that system.
Oh, absolutely. And plus, I got to think they brought him in because they're not sure of Kittle.
The one thing that could derail that team again could be health. They're old. That is an older bunch. Yeah.
At the quarterback position.
Well, you got Trent Williams. If he gets hurt, Fred is getting older. Nick Bosa has been a guy who gets a lot of injuries. Health could derail that team. And Mike Evans is pretty old. That health could derail that team.
Here's the thing, though, bro. He can't stay healthy. That's not a true statement. Mike Evans doesn't miss any time. Last year was
for the first time, right?
First time in his career last year, he missed significant time. Now, that is older, though. So to your point,
getting old. They got to stay healthy. But that's a good team on paper right now. And I think one of their biggest additions is actually Osa, the guy from Dallas. That dude is not a bad player. He just got washed out because they got Quinnen Williams. They got the dude back from Dallas. What's his name? Kenny, whatever. I'm blanking on his name. Kenny Clark, is it?
Yeah, Kenny Clark from Green Bay.
So I think
Rashad Gary too. They added Dallas.
Right. So I think Osa is a big addition for them. The Rams to me right now are the best team, or the best roster in football.
Yeah,
they're not the best team. We haven't played a game yet, but they're the best roster.
Best roster, right? Let's do some of the supers before Howard Eskin comes in. I can't wait to hear what Howard's going to say.
Kimberly says, "Imagine offense succeeds and it's Birds versus Pats in the Super Bowl with AJ on the other side.
Yeah,
with AJ on the Eagles.
That's what she's saying."
Brian Fleming says, if the Cowgirls win the East, Z has to watch Sills eat a plate of clams and Scungio. Any other East winner, Sills wears a Hurts jersey for a week. That's an unfair bet right there.
Hurts jersey.
Devin says, I'm not a fan of Nick completely because of the Eagles' politics. If we're going to have a revolving door at OC, then Nick needs to run the offense.
No way. They're not
going to allow it. Politics might be the very reason he's not doing that.
But the reason he's not calling plays is the reason he's the head coach.
I just, look, you know what I'm a little tired of as a Philadelphian? It's always the fucking coach. Anywhere. Rob Thompson, fire Rob. Guys aren't hitting. Players aren't hitting. Fire the Sixers coach. Fire Brett Brown. Fire Doc. Fire Joel Embiid can't stay healthy.
So wait a minute. If Bryce Harper
Eagles, fire Kevin Patullo. Fire Nick Sirianni. Fire
if what's his name? If Bryce Harper goes in an 0 for 28 slump,
fire Rob.
It's the manager's fault.
Yeah, it's like, hello, your $350 million player's not hitting. How about that?
Right.
So
absolutely.
That's my take on it. All right, that's all of them, brother.
Good deal, man. Hey, by the way, some of those comments that Howard made last year, this guy's like Nostradamus.
Yeah, that's true.
He's, everyone was. What did that one bite get? Like over 200,000 views when he said something.
The one did 1.5 million. The Tanner McKee bite.
Look at that. Howard got 1.5 million.
I said when Howard said that I think Howard talked to somebody. Now I don't know. I'm not going to speak for him, but I think he talked to somebody and was learning that Tanner McKee was looking better at practice than Jalen. But we'll see. It's going to be a big year of learning things, I think, in Philadelphia this year.
How about Angelo yesterday saying that Nick Sirianni is the biggest mistake in the history of the franchise? Said he's just a bum.
And that is an asinine take. I mean, that doesn't even make a semblance of sense.
He says, I won't pick between Rich Kotite.
Yeah. Okay. The winningest coach in Eagle history was the worst hire in the franchise's history. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that is so stupid.
I won't pick between Nick Sirianni and Kotai.
All right, I'm out of here, dude.
All right, bro. See you in the morning, man.
Appreciate it, dude. Later.
Guys, I'll tell you what, you got to watch one of the best shows there is in Philly, and that is Howard Eskin. He gets some of the best guests on there is, and we appreciate him very much. And I'll tell you what, this AJ drama, we've been kind of barking it. We've been telling you this is going to be New England, and it's going to be a conditional 2-3. And he's off the football team. But there's no doubt also, there's a lot going on here. And no AJ at OTAs for the first time in 4 years. He's there always. Howard Eskin was on the sidelines watching a lot of this drama play out. He joins us now here. And I'll tell you, it never dies here, does it? And I love it. Boy, I'll tell you, you guys have a good football team on drama right now. It's like as the world turns with the Philadelphia Eagles. Are you shocked with all the drama?
What drama is there?
Oh, what do you mean? Which drama is there?
What drama? What drama do we have?
So now let's start here with AJ first. So
AJ who?
AJ the number 11, AJ Brown.
I don't even remember the guy.
He's already gone from Howard Eskin's. He's already.
You know
gone.
what? I don't give a damn. And here's the issue. Apparently there's nothing else to talk about because it's AJ Brown. It's AJ Brown. It's AJ Brown. Do I care that did anybody report anybody else that didn't come to the OTAs? No, but it's only AJ Brown. There are players that don't come to the OTAs, and it happens with every team. So we make this you make all this bleeping. I can't say fucking. All this bleeping drama. Over AJ Brown.
Wait, your kid's even throwing out conspiracy theories on the air about Jalen Hurts and all that. I'm going to get to that guy in a minute here, but what are you talking about, man? We had a huge report from Adam Schefter yesterday going June 1. Your star receiver
wait a minute.
Out of here.
Adam Schefter is just repeating what the woman in the relationship with Mike Bravel put out there. Oh, was that her name? Oh, okay. Okay. He's just putting out what so now he wouldn't touch anything with AJ Brown in New England. It's like poison. Like ESPN wouldn't report anything about Mike Brable and Diana Rossini for days. It's like, oh, we can't say they are so fraudulent as a sports network. There's a few good shows, 30-30, Jeremy Schaap,
PTI.
Really a PTI, and that's it. The talking bobblehead morons every day say nothing. So it's just like they make a big deal. So all of a sudden, Adam Schefter is now going to report it because Diana Rossini is out in the pasture somewhere. Who knows where she is? She's in hiding, and I understand she can't. She's already allegedly lied, so she can't say anything else. So what's she going to do and what's she going to say? So now that she's out of the picture, here comes Adam Schefter taking the story that wasn't his. She had a lot of bad stories. He's had a lot of bad stories. It's part of what they do. But nobody remembers, who does what, except this story they remember because of the situation surrounding it. But he's had a lot of good stories. He's had a lot of bad stories. But now he's going to take ownership of this story. Who cares? Hey, if I'm the New England Patriots, because now there's no other place that AJ Brown can go, I say to the Eagles, hey, listen, you're getting a third, and that's it. If you don't like it, keep him. You don't like it, keep him. What's to say that they have to give him a second? Why? For a guy that's 29 years old. Why do they have to give him a second? Who's got three years left? And you're probably going to have to sign him to another contract, which is going to cost you money. It's just maybe Robert Kraft can take him to that massage parlor. I don't know.
It's in Orlando, by the way, just to keep score here from what I'm understanding here. Okay, well, wait. Let me stop you here then. Okay. So I got to ask you then, before I move on to the other drama at the Eagles, what was your takeaway on this Rossini thing? She loses her gig. The NFL comes in and parachutes in and says they're not going to look at Vrabel for the conduct policy code in the NFL. Vrabel kind of ran around it today. He didn't really address it at all today.
That was word salad. It
But
was garbage.
WIP also named Diana Rossini their top insider.
Which was a joke.
Eagles.
Which was asinine, stupid, foolish. They got caught up, and now they had a defender. They had a defender, which was stupid too, to defend her because we know. I mean, the pictures are obvious. Their responses were obviously lies. Mike Vrabel said it was laughable. Well, all this, and he didn't say anything today. I mean, he has a statement that says nothing, and then you're not allowed to ask him questions. Then you're not allowed to ask him. I honestly, I don't care about an affair. That's not the issue. So in the NFL, that's not the issue as far as the NFL is concerned. And the public likes that kind of stuff, but that's not the issue. The issue is she had a conflict of interest. She violated the rules of her job. We'll always say allegedly, but we know what happened. The rules of her job. And he didn't a code of contact policy. Why would the NFL come down on him for that? There's players that have affairs. There's coaches that have affairs. It happens, but that's not really that's a personal issue. But in his case, the question now is, did he use her to get information and to feed information to different people and then report and then other clubs and then report back to him? So was there a conflict? Did he know some of the things that were going on? Because she got close. I don't know how close with other people, but we know about the situation that happened with the Washington Redskins general manager years ago. What was it? Yep. It was 2015. Are you okay there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm good. No, I'm good. Got it. No, I'm choked up.
Yeah,
I'm choked
you got
up
it.
over your takes here. No, I got it. No,
there you go. Okay, so we know that this has happened before because the wife of that general manager, the Redskins, went out and blasted her on social media. So we know that this has happened before. So whatever the case may be, and she was working in Washington at that time. So apparently,
she also worked in Tennessee with Vrabel when he was there in Tennessee.
Did she work in Tennessee?
Yeah, she worked in Tennessee with covering the Titans.
Oh, okay. It's amazing. So the reality is, it's not a code of conduct. For the NFL is the most. And think back to the John Gruden situation. They covered up their own people seeing these nude pictures of cheerleaders. And then they buried John Gruden for things just totally out of the box.
Correct.
Out of 600,000 emails, there's nothing in the NFL.
To cover Daniel Snyder.
Okay, they covered and people in the NFL office, from what I understand. So they are ruthless in the things that they do to cover things up. So in this case, they're cute. We're not going to do anything with a code of conduct policy. It's not a code of conduct. It's a violation, a possible tampering violation. That's what should be investigated. I don't care about if they had sex with each other and they had a good time in Sedona. I don't care about all that.
That's loss of picks, Howard. If it came out like that, that would be a loss of picks if you were
a fine and a suspension. And a suspension. Yeah. And I hate to break the news to these Patriots fans. They ain't going to the Super Bowl this year. Teams that lose never, almost one time in 30 years, never go back. So if they're going to take a shot to take a run at it this year and put all their eggs in a basket to get a wide receiver, they are making a mistake. It ain't happening. They were lucky last year with the 9 straight wins. They got some breaks in those wins.
And Denver having the quarterback out when they had to put Jared Stidham in over Bo Nix in the AFC Championship game.
Right. So they got a break there. They had a last place schedule, which they're not going to have now.
No.
So they ain't they're not going back. So I don't care what they do. I don't get if they get Tom Brady at 24 years old. They're not going back.
But what's the collateral damage of not having A.J. Brown on the Eagles moving forward for 26 for the Eagles? Okay, I get it, the drama. If he is gone and it looks like he is gone, what's the collateral damage for that football team moving forward when you're trying to install a new offense?
There is no collateral damage. I mean, I don't think Devontae Smith is the best wide receiver on that team. And I'm not, it's not even a question for me.
That's not enough, I don't think.
Well, yeah, but they're going to get some other people and they're going to do some other things. They'll get somebody in the draft. I don't think they'll get him in the first round. There are a lot of good wide receivers in the draft. Athletically, and again, they're rookies, but still athletically, they will be as good, if not better, than what A.J. Brown is now. And they will probably be better athletically. Remember, he's gotten older. I don't know if he's lost a step, but he's still a good receiver, but he's not a great receiver anymore. So when you look at it, they will have another wide receiver. Wide receivers, they're going to be able to plug those guys in. I don't really think, as long as you have Devontae Smith and he stays healthy, even though he gets the living daylights kicked out of him, he's a tough guy, and he's a good guy. No, as long as you have that, that's fine. That's not what they have to worry about. They have to worry about a guy. There's a guy that tries to throw the football. That's what they have to worry about.
Let me go to him next. Okay, so you tell me what you read into this. You tell me if I'm crazy on this one too. So 2 days ago, Jalen Hurts posted a picture of Scott Loeffler, his former quarterback coach who was just fired 4 weeks ago by Nick. And he says he's been working out with him the whole time. Now, I don't know about you. They just elevated Parks Frazier. And I know they couldn't talk to assistant coaches until Monday when it was officially legal for you to go into the building. However, you post a picture of a guy who Nick fired 4 weeks ago, and he says, I really enjoy working with him. Well, Howard, I would say this to you. If the quarterback enjoyed that much working with him, why wouldn't the head coach look at it and say, well, if my quarterback enjoys working with him, why wouldn't we keep him retained?
Because the offensive,
it doesn't make sense.
Well, the offensive coordinator apparently wanted somebody else.
So you're doing something outside of what the quarterback's comfort zone level is?
What's the difference? He's going to whine and complain about a new guy anyway. He does that every year. I have a new offensive. I've had 7 offensive coordinators in 8 years counting college. How many times? So now it's what, 8 and 9 years? I don't even know what the numbers are anymore. But he rolls that out there after a couple of, average games. And it's, I'm working with a different offensive coordinator. So now we got to hear that again. So it doesn't matter. The quarterback's got to do it. It's not rocket science. You got to read the defense. You got to be comfortable in throwing the ball over the middle and not just to the edges. He's got to do that. He's got to be able to run plays with motion. He's got to be able to take more snaps under center. He's got to be able to do all those things.
No way.
Well, maybe not. But I don't care who he posts a picture with. Everybody on that team now wants to create attention. A.J. Brown is holding up New England Patriots blankets. He's eating baby food that comes from New England. I don't even know what he's doing anymore. It's like, I don't even care anymore. I really don't even care. Everybody wants drama. All of a sudden, Jalen, and I got news for you. I don't know that that's all Jalen Hurts. Do you think Jalen Hurts really posts on his social media?
No, I think Nicole Lynn is preparing for the I think if Howie and them have a plan, I think Nicole Lynn in Clutch Sports has a plan too to do this, Howard. I'm not falling on the sword for this thing. If this thing goes south and you hiring these coaches, Jalen Hurts is not going to look like the bad guy in their eyes. They're going to do whatever I think you're right on with that. Hey, Jalen's going to roll out the fact that he's had 1,000 coordinators in the last 9 years, 7 years, whatever.
Yep.
Aren't they also starting the storyline for them too? That this ain't my fault. This is management's issue.
Well, yeah, but he always has that storyline. So I don't know what they're doing. It's just social media is is bad. It's bad in so many different ways, and not just in sports. People just put stuff out there to try to create attention for whatever reason. And you might be right. They might be setting up, the downfall if, in fact, there comes to be a downfall this year. Jalen Hurts has got to get better. And I'm still annoyed at the reporters who didn't follow up what Howie Roseman said
Oh my
at that
God.
at that useless pre-draft news conference. Now, it's useless for almost every team. So I get that. You're not going to give anything away. But when he rolls out there, the stories about Jalen Hurts are unfair. Where are those lame reporters to say, all right, Howie, number one, can you tell me what was unfair, what was incorrect in those stories? He says, well, I can't tell you what was correct or incorrect. Then why was it unfair? I mean, you gotta follow that up. When he says it's unfair, I want to know why you said it's unfair. Why is it unfair? The reporters are just, if somebody puts that story out, they're just doing their job. They're just doing their job. Howie, were those stories, were those things wrong?
Here's my problem with it, Howard, when he did this, and they teed him up. They teed Howie Roseman up for this one. He goes, do you think it's unfair that you have to use the media to connect with your players? Howie's response was, and I'm paraphrasing a little here, he goes, I think that's definitely unfair. Our organization has a great relationship with the players and has a great understanding with the players, and I think that's unfair. Well, wait a minute. Is the story true or not?
Well, that's why you got to follow up. What's unfair about those stories?
He didn't defend Hurts, though. He defended his front office.
Well, he says they talk
quarterback.
He Mike Vrabel'd you. He didn't say anything. And so he didn't say anything. But you got to follow that. You got to follow up. Now, with New England, this is their history for years.
It is.
Between all their cheaters, between Belichick and Brady and Kraft, and they're all lying.
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez said, I don't know that they lied about that. He killed somebody and they caught him.
But I'm talking about a culture in the building. I'm talking about the owner literally caught with his pants down and everything else that goes on.
Well, how do you mean that? How do you mean that with his pants down?
Well, I mean, hey, it's
just getting a massage.
You know what I'm doing?
I don't know. Getting a massage.
Okay.
He just wanted a happy ending to the season. He just wanted a happy ending to the season.
Hey, I know. No, that's not exactly true. He had just won the AFC Championship game, and he needed a massage in Orlando. I don't know.
It was the day of a playoff game.
I thought it was right after the AFC title when Brady beat him in overtime.
No, I understand. It was the day of a late afternoon playoff game.
Well, shit, Howard, it's a stressful day. You know that.
But regardless, that's not the issue. I mean, that whole organization. Hey, they won a lot of games. They were in the easiest division in football for years and years, and they got buys. But whatever the case may be, they are cheaters. And we know that, and that is 100% verified. But I'm disappointed in the NFL. The NFL should just not say anything. What about the AP stuff? What about, and the AP refuses to release her voting? She got pissed. Here, somebody speculated, and again, it was somebody's speculation.
I brought this up 2 weeks ago to like a couple of Hall of Fame voters. I go, well, wait a minute. The MVP vote came down to 3 votes between Drake May and between Matthew Stafford, and the Coach of the Year award came down to 5 votes. Okay, how much influence did she have? Do you know, like, you get $1.5 million or you get $3 million for incentives with that stuff? I mean, her voting, yeah, you could question.
Well, the MVP, somebody speculated that when it came out, she was angry because I wouldn't be shocked. This is just my speculation, that she told Josh Allen she voted for him to try to get information out of Josh Allen. Hey, I'm going to vote for you for the MVP. And then hey, can you tell me about this? Can you tell me about that?
Tell me about Sean McDermott. What's going on with you and Sean
McDermott? Whatever she asked him.
He got fired.
Yeah, right. Whatever she may have asked him. But somebody said that he was a little upset when he found out she didn't vote for him. Not that she didn't vote for him, but apparently, I say apparently or allegedly, you always got to use those words. She did vote for Lamar Jackson in 24. That came out. So she got pissed. So the next year they didn't put it out, and now they're not going to put it out because it will explode. Those awards, some of those awards would be bogus, and people are getting incentive or getting extra money,
Huge
bonus money for awards. So that's a big scandal, and the NFL is not going to touch it. The AP is probably going to try to stay away from it. That stuff is really that's really bad. So with all these things, there's so much. Why does it always center around the New England Patriots? Why does that always happen?
Because it's a shady organization.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, it's unbelievable. But whatever the case may be.
Dude, here's the number: $2 million for Stafford winning that Most Valuable Player award. It's a $2 million. And it came down to
he deserved to win it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but I'll tell you what, in that year that Lamar and Josh Allen, I thought Lamar was the better player that year. He had 4,100 passing yards and 42 touchdown passes, 4 picks, and 950 yards rushing. I don't know about you, and they won 13 games.
Yeah, I didn't think about it, but if she told one guy one thing, and then she did something else, that's wrong.
He was parlaying
to get information. But the NFL has got to investigate tampering. And that's what they got to do. And it's just, hey, listen, the NFL does what they want. They are the biggest. They're probably they're the biggest business in the world, the most powerful business in the world.
Well, get this. So here's a perfect number for you. So the NFL and Park Avenue decided to go from 10 minutes in between first round picks. Okay. Do you know why? Well, they went to 8 TV commercial stop sets.
Yeah, right.
More commercials.
I know. It's all about money.
Yeah. So what they did was they said, we can make it run smoother if we go from 10 minutes per pick in the first round to 8 minutes per pick. And all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. That means you could drop more stop sets. That means you can make more commercials and run more commercials in between.
Everything's about money. Why are they playing games overseas to get more money? International television money.
That's right.
It's not fair to the fans. I mean, I don't want to hear that it's great. It's making the game international. That doesn't help the fans that have to travel for those games. How about the first game in Australia? Who's it? San Francisco and Seattle? They both have to travel like over 16 hours.
But Howard, here's something else too with that. So you're asking the city of Philadelphia to retrofit and have renovations on Lincoln Financial, or the guys even maybe thinking of wanting to build.
I'm not asking.
Hold on here now. Check this out. So you're talking about moving a game out of Philadelphia, and you're taxing me, and you're putting that game somewhere in Australia. You could kiss my rear end on that one, man.
Well,
I mean,
the Eagles have a stipulation in the current deal with the stadium. They are not allowed to lose a home game. That's why anytime the Eagles played out of the country.
Oh, when they played Green Bay, they were the road team?
They were the road team.
Okay.
They were the road team. They are not allowed to lose a home game by the loans from the state and the city. It was put in there so they don't lose a home game. So they don't lose a home game.
What do you make of your boy Keith Jones and what he's done with your Flyers?
Oh, he's done a great job. He's the president. Danny Briere's done a great job as general manager, and Rick Tocchet has done a sensational job. They're hockey people. I've said this. I don't know if I said it with you, I've said it for months now. The Flyers are the next team to win a championship in Philadelphia. I don't know when it's going to be, and it might be at least a couple of years, but they're the next team to win a champ. And I said this before they beat Pittsburgh in 2 games. They have done a really good job building this team. They've done it the right way. They know what the hell they're doing. The Sixers are a complete sham. I don't know how they would compete in the G League. I mean, they are a disgrace. And then the Phillies, their window is passed. It's just they have players that I'm going to give you a stat.
You think Rob Thompson should be fired?
No, absolutely. I posted something today. I watch out for Monday. Monday is an off day for the Phillies. If the Phillies have a disastrous road trip, Monday's an off day. The next series they play is against a weak team. That's when teams usually do it. They got a weak team coming in. Oh, we changed the managers and everything's great now. And Monday's an off day.
You think
So
that's why they
it's
brought Mattingly in there?
Don Mattingly told me on one of my shows he doesn't want to manage anymore. They brought down his son is in the front office, Don Mattingly's son, and his son helped talk him into it to be to still be a part of baseball.
Be the interim manager if they.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be a manager. I don't know what they're going to do there. But the reality is, your question was, do I think Rob Thompson should be fired? Not what the team that was given him. This team can't hit. The Phillies, how about this stat? The Phillies have only scored in multiple innings, more than one inning in one game, 4 times this year.
Oh my God!
It's the last in Major League Baseball. They are the bottom team for scoring, for not scoring in multiple innings. That is mind-boggling. That's mind-boggling. And one of those games, it was 11-1 against the Cubs, and Bryce Harper got a pitch right down center city against a pitcher that probably is not even a major league pitcher because the Cubs are using the back of their bullpen. It was the 9th inning, and he hits a home run. So that was one game where they scored multiple runs. So if you take that game away, then it's 3. It's just they can't make contact. They can't score without hitting home runs. But the Flyers are a good hockey team. Now, they got a
Is this
good
the best team since Hextall's team?
No, because there was teams with Lindros that got to the finals. Brian Boucher, who's a broadcaster.
Yeah, that team that lost to the Devils.
It was 09 and 10.
Yeah.
I think they got to didn't they get to the Stanley Cup finals?
Yeah.
So
and they got beat. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's some good teams and they did it and nobody thought they were going to do it. It's hard to say who the best team is. The game's changed. Things are different, but they've had some good teams along the way, but they haven't had good teams in a while. But these guys are doing a great job, an absolutely great job.
What kind of owner was Ed Snyder?
He was very loyal to his players.
He came on my show all the time, and I really love talking hockey with him.
Yeah, he was a good. He used to yell at me. He used to yell, and then 30 seconds later, we were laughing. I mean, there's a story he yelled at me going because I had made fun of hockey one time. I said they ought to put a clown in a gold's mouth and then get an extra point if you put it through the clown's mouth. Just making fun of it. And he saw me walking into the locker room after a playoff win, started yelling at me. So I kind of took it, and he said something to me that I won't say here on the show. And then, and all I said was, I do that one time and you call me a such and such. And he stopped in his tracks. He came back to me in the locker room. He says, you stopped me. You got me. I couldn't say anything after that, but you got it. But he was a good guy. He was loyal. Sometimes he was impatient because he wanted to take that shot with the team that year. And he asked his team to do something to get a player. And if you didn't win with that player, you were stuck now for a couple of years.
Was he the owner of the back-to-backs?
Yeah, he was the owner from day one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was the owner from day one. He's the he built the building that they were in at one time, the Spectrum. He
built the Spectrum?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's the one that financed it and built it. To give him the arena when they bought the hockey team.
Shit, I've been in that place 1,000 times.
And I had my high school graduation there. So it was kind of cool. And then he helped finance without any city or state money, helped finance the building that they're in now. And he said, I don't want any city or state money. I just want all the money from parking, which was a great deal for him. But he asked for no city or state money. Ed Snyder was really, really one of the best owners you'll ever find.
Did he get parking money for the Eagles too? Because that was did he make
whatever their lots were For the Eagle, yeah, for the Eagle, yeah. If it was in
the
their
Eagles.
lots, if it was in
the
their
lots,
lot,
right?
yeah, it
Right?
was in their lots. But there was, I guess, there were Citizen Bank lots too, where the
Yeah, yeah.
ballpark was.
Hey,
So that he didn't get that money, I don't think. But
do you think this is the end? This is the last year. If you're Daryl Morey, don't you have to in the offseason here? Don't you have to figure a way to get out and get away from Embiid? Don't you have to do this? I mean, come
well,
on.
if he's running the team after the season, that's a mistake. So it wouldn't be him getting out. How do you get out of Embiid? I think he's got 2 years left in his contract at like $63 million. He plays less than half the games. Here, I'll give you a stat. Another stat. Ben Simmons, who hasn't played this year, 0 games, right? 0 games. Do you know Embiid since January of 2024 has only played 10 more games than Ben Simmons since January of 2024. And he hasn't even played this year. And he was hurt at times too.
Man.
It's
And he's
disgraceful.
worth the
Daryl
50
Morey is a fraud and a con man. I don't know how he gets jobs, but he'll never get another one. He's done. I mean, he can't con anybody else. It's just brutal. They don't have their own draft pick in the first round. They have somebody else's. They have no second round picks. He trades. It's just terrible. It's terrible what he's done to the team. But how do you get to answer your question? Who's going to take Joel Embiid? Knowing he's going to play. You're lucky if he plays 40 games. You're lucky if he plays 40
You got to
games.
cut him.
Well, you got to declare him unfit to play and have a medical. But the problem for the Sixers, they'd still have to pay him, and then they pay somebody else, and the owner's so cheap and so brutal. How about? Well, I don't want to even get into who
Josh Harris is a train wreck as an owner.
Well, all he cares about is a football team right now. That's all he cares about. So, whatever. He's been mentioned in the Epstein files. I think they were reported 400 times. So I'm sure he's just a casual friend.
Oh my God. Hey, I do have to ask you about, your kids got some pretty good. I like the one thing about your kids' conspiracy theory, and Spike said something, and I'm starting to bite it a little bit here. You think they're pushing Jalen Hurts out, and that you think they're beginning their process of distancing themselves from Hurts with all these hires, all the new people that they're bringing into the building? Doesn't it seem, Howard, that it looks like they're building the team for the next dude? I'm talking the next quarterback.
That makes no sense.
Okay.
That makes no sense because you want to have success this year. And how many times have I told you?
Well, if you get rid of AJ, how are you having a success?
Well, so hey, listen, he's had a different coordinator, so we'll whine about this coordinator. How many times have I told you I would be surprised if they signed him past this year, or they would give him an extension? I told you that. Now I told you that in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I told you. I never believed that they were comfortable with giving him an extension. Matter of fact, I kind of knew that with giving him an extension, and they're not comfortable with now this year. Obviously, if they haven't given it to him now, they're not going to give him an extension. And I would be surprised if he's with the team next year. So they don't have to do anything. That conspiracy theory, somebody pulled out of somebody's rear end because, like, why would that be a conspiracy theory? You'd want your team to have success. If you
want to have success, you hire people to help the kid out. They're not.
Well, you think you have. You think you have. You don't think that they
How do you think hiring a guy that has Sean McVay's offense, hiring a guy for a wildcat quarterback? But
he's not really a runner. He's not really a runner anymore. All the quarterbacks in the NFL.
Well, if he's not a runner, he's not very good.
Well, you said it.
Oh, I said it. Really? You told me Tanner McKee was a better player.
No, what I said is Tanner McKee is better fundamentally than Jalen Hurts, and he absolutely 100% is. And obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade him on draft day. To try to get a pick.
I haven't asked you yet. Thursday, what do you think the Eagles do?
They're going to make a pick.
What do you think they do at 23 in the first round? What do you think they do?
I think they got to take an offensive probably an offensive lineman if he's there, or try to trade up to get an
Sadiq,
offense. What's that?
to get Kenyon Sadiq.
And would he go in like the teens?
Yeah,
Okay. So I
like
think
19.
okay, well, if that's where he's going to go, then that's what they got to try to do, because, and I think that's where you build a team, and they know that. They know you build a team from the inside out, offensive and defense.
Do the Eagles draft a quarterback in the top 3 rounds?
No, nope, nope. Now, well, like who's there outside of the first round?
Nussmeier.
Yeah, well, he was a coach here, and his dad was a coach here.
His dad was a coach.
He just had some surgery, but he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Will he go past the second round?
He could be there, like for the Eagles at the top of the 3rd round. If they draft him in the 3rd round,
so
that's a message.
Okay, if they draft an offensive lineman, a wide receiver,
a quarterback.
Well, and a wide receiver before the 3rd, and he's still there in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
they would think about it. That's where they drafted Nick Foles. They actually wanted Russell Wilson, who. But did you see the story about Russell Wilson and Diana Rossini?
No.
She voted when all this stuff came out in 24. She voted for him as the comeback player of the year. Not one other person voted for him as the comeback player of the year.
I thought he got benched.
Correct. What does that tell you?
It has to be something with the agent. You got
to well, maybe she got friendly with him too.
No, wait. Maybe Vrabel's agent is also Russell Wilson's agent.
Whatever the case may
be.
You
know what I think it is? I think it's Jimmy Sexton.
I like Jimmy Sexton, so I'm not going to question him.
Jimmy Sexton also. Yeah, Jimmy Sexton. I'll tell you, Howard. I'm
not a Russell Wilson fan, but they wanted to draft Russell Wilson. He went right before they did. They picked, and that's when they took Nick Foles in the 3rd round that year. And that's when they drafted Nick Foles.
I turned on your radio station, and I told Angelo this yesterday.
It's not mine.
That thing don't sound the same anymore.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's an echo chamber now.
Well, radio is, and we've talked about this. Radio's a dying. It's sad because that's where I built a great career. TV helped too, because I did a lot of TV, but that's where I built a great career. And it's sad that radio station is a shell of itself. And it's just not the same drivel all day long. Hey, listen, my son works hard. He knows what he's doing, but it's just bullshit that he put out there, conspiracy theory. Why would a team want somebody
I like it actually
to not be successful? Tell me why.
Because it's easy for the owner then to move off that dude.
No, you're not going to throw away a season.
Well, they're not doing anything to help him.
They're hiring coaches they think can help. Now, are they good enough? I don't know.
That's like asking Joe Burrow to run RPOs, what they're doing.
Wait a minute. Don't you think they're going to try to build, if they draft an offensive lineman, they're trying to help the quarterback, right?
If they're drafting an offensive lineman and they're drafting another offensive skill set guy, they're building that team for the next guy.
Oh, so in other words, we shouldn't worry about the 17.
Well, here, let me ask you this: the backup quarterback are drop back quarterbacks, are they not? Tanner McKee and Andy Dalton are drop back quarterbacks. That is Nick Sirianni.
Tanner McKee won't be here.
Okay, well, wait. I'm just talking. When you look at backup quarterbacks around the league, most of them have a mirror image of the starter. Instead, in Philly, you got guys that are completely directly opposite of what you have as a starter. So if Hurts goes down, you're not running the same kind of offense. Well, wait a minute. Now you are.
Nick Foles a mirror image of Carson Wentz?
No, but Nick Foles was a better athlete than Jalen Hurts.
Nick Foles is never.
He scored 18 a night when he was at Arizona as a hoopster.
That's great. Okay, then he should have played basketball. He's never played a full season in the NFL.
I didn't say he was consistent. I'm saying he was a really good athlete.
Okay, great. But he wasn't he wasn't the kind of quarterback that Carson Wentz was.
No,
Okay.
he
So
couldn't be.
it happens
Wentz was
because
better.
you just get it. They got Andy Dalton because he was cheap, with the draft pick.
Then why didn't you
And
go get a guy like Tyler Huntley that kind of mirrors Hurts's ability?
they don't want to have to give up too much because if you go to the backup quarterback, you're in trouble anyway. He's never going to be your starter for
36% last year. Backup quarterbacks played games in NFL games last year.
Yeah,
So
and how many did they play on an average?
I'm just saying that you have to have somebody go in there and play.
Okay.
Your guys got to play.
If you're playing the backup
They're
quarterback, you're in
setting Hurts
trouble.
up to get the hell out of town.
No, don't buy all of this bullshit that you're throwing out there, conspiracy theories and all that. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. They want to be successful. And if they can make him a good quarterback, then maybe they can trade him and get something for him after the season. And, it still wouldn't surprise me. Well, they can't trade him now. It's too late. But, it just because there's too much shuffling around. But you got to get a quarterback. So you can't trade him unless you got a quarterback.
I heard 4.5.
4.5 what?
Last week I heard 6 something, and I found some people told me 4.5 for you.
What's that?
How much money you made?
Oh, stop.
Somebody told me 4.5.
You guys, that's irrelevant how much money somebody makes.
No, it's not. Now you sound like people that want to ask a decent question, like Aziz Fudd was asked a question about the Paige Becker. Guy asked a question, hey, what do you think of having a relationship with somebody on another team? How do you think that dynamic affects?
When
that girl came in and went, hey, we don't answer what do you mean? You want to be covered like a dude sport? You got to handle dude questions.
Well, I made zilch when I sent my son to a private school. He went to a very good private school at that time here in the Philadelphia area. And I had to get a homeowner's loan, which is technically illegal to get a homeowner's loan to help pay for his education because I didn't make enough money. But I did what I had to do.
Yeah, what was that? What year was that?
Boy, he's going to be 50. Don't tell him that because
I don't think so. At the back end of that career years.
Well, no, what? But okay, so let's say when he went in 8th grade. So how many years ago would that be? Okay, so 21 would be 29 years.
You're talking you're talking about 80 something.
Yeah, and I was making squat.
Yeah, right. Well, Howard, when the 90s hit and you guys in that station started making enormous dough.
Yeah, but I said
you and Angelo and everyone on that station were making big. Nobody could get a job at that station for a reason. You know why? You guys were killing it, making all that money.
Yeah, right.
You know why there was no turnover at WIP back then? Because you guys were great and you made a ton of dough.
Well, and here's the other thing. All they care about is getting part-time people. It's just because no benefits. It's cheaper and there's no benefits. And that's kind of sad. It's just it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? It is what it is.
Man, you may have ended up getting out in the right time here.
Yeah,
what do you got coming up on the show?
Okay, it's going to be a surprise expert that's going to go through the entire first round of a mock draft. And this expert is as good, if not better than anybody. And I will tell you this will kind of leave it wide open. This expert is kind of used by one of the general managers in the National Football League. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. So you're going to have to watch.
So say that again. Who uses, okay, an NFL expert is used by one of the general managers
in the NFL.
I know. I got it. If I got it, you tell me. Scott Pioli.
Incorrect.
Damn. 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 Then again, wait. Why would I go Scott Pioli? Because you hate the Patriots.
Yeah, but he was other places too.
He was in New York.
Yeah. Just I hope Joe Shane doesn't screw it up for
Mark
John.
Dominic.
You said you won. You get one guess.
Get one. Okay.
You're going to be shocked when you find out.
Kevin Colbert.
I tell you what. You want to spend the next hour just running down names?
Yeah. Howard. So when's this? Wednesday?
Yeah. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, Wednesday at 7:30. And then obviously I don't even know what we do with the Phillies. I put out, well, I told you, and I hope Rob Thompson doesn't get fired, but look for off days followed by easy teams. Look for off days for the Phillies. And Monday's an off day.
So I gotta show you something here. So Angelo said this yesterday.
Angelo, what did he say about Nick Sirianni? What he's talking out of his ass?
Coach. He says he's the worst coach in Eagle history, and he also called Howie Roseman Howie Potter.
You know what? Howie Roseman gets a lot of credit. He's done some really good things, but when I hear these morons on ESPN, and there's some good ones there, but most of them are morons. When they say Howie Roseman's working the phones, what do you think? Every general manager in the NFL works the phones. What's that? Novel? Is that novel?
It's
He's
the
working
owner.
The phones.
It's the owner because the owner opens his wallet and allows him to have the autonomy to do it.
Doesn't cost anything for calls anymore, so you can open your phones all you want.
You still have a flip phone?
I know. I have a BlackBerry.
Oh, I never seen it.
No, I got it. Whatever.
Yeah, I got them picking. I'm gonna stick to it. I got Kenyon Sadiq because I think they're gonna need another offensive weapon. And here's my dream. I want you to keep AJ. I want you to have Devontae. I want Kenyon Sadiq, and I want Barkley to come back. And I want that guy to show everyone this year that he cannot elevate that offensive passing attack because he's not good enough without running.
Well,
if Jalen Hurts doesn't run, he's not good enough.
Well, and he's not running because he runs right. And they've scouted him pretty good.
He runs right now every time he drops his eyes.
Well, what happens if the Patriots say this has become too big and we know where all this stuff came from with A.J. Brown and say, you know what? We're not giving you whatever you thought we were giving you.
No, they're going to go conditional. I'll tell you what I'm hearing here. They're going to go 2-3 for A.J. Brown, and they're going to say this. If he plays 75% of the games, he gets over 1,000 yards, it'll be a conditional 1. And
no, there's not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Then
you can't give up a 1 for A.J. Brown. Can't do it. Can't do it. Because they're not going to go anywhere. The Patriots aren't going anywhere this year. Sorry, Patriots fans. You're not going anywhere.
You think the Patriots have more leverage than the Eagles do?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They can get a wide receiver in the draft. What the hell do they need A.J. Brown for? Just because Diane Rossini
get him on
talked
a rookie
about
deal.
it in the bungalow in Sedona?
I hear they have a heck of a there's like some really good food there, and they got a great buffet and all that up there. I don't know. I
guess they get great music so they can dance with each other.
You know what? I'd look professional.
It did, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah, but wait, that's WIP's Insider of the Year.
That's it was so ridiculous from day one.
Angelo said that it would have been between you and him, that thing boxed in the middle, you guys would have destroyed that whole thing. If they had named Diana Rossini the Insider of the Year.
I mean, it's just give me a break. Give me a
break.
Howard,
I got to tell you, it is always interesting, and you are without a doubt an absolute legend. You are so needed in Philly right now.
Yeah, but it's over. It's over. Right, talk radio's over. Okay, so the 2 letters that you want to remember is A and J. What numbered letter in the alphabet is J?
8.
Wait a minute, it can't be 8.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. It's 10. My bad.
Okay. Well,
I went to Miami. Give me a break.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you didn't have to go to class.
I
You just had to play
class.
football.
I had class. I didn't go to it.
Well, what football players do.
I didn't go to class. Hey, Jimmy Johnson is my coach. You think I had to go to class?
Hey, did Dwayne Johnson have to go to class? He was only a backup player.
Why do you go there? I'm not talking shit on Rock. I love Rock. We're friends.
Yeah, I just, I met him when I used to go to the Miami games, as you know, but I didn't, he was just Dwayne Johnson back then.
It's a touchy subject. He never started at UM. Yeah, he was an okay player. He was okay. He was.
I just asked you if he went to class since he wasn't a starter.
How would here's the classes I went to at UM. If you had 300 people in it, you only had to worry about the blue book and the final exam, and you didn't take attendance. Those were classes I went to. And unfortunately for you, most of those were journalism classes. So I signed up for journalism, and that's what you end up getting. I went to school. I learned this: never be part of the story. What, why, when, and where. I remember all that BS. And I remember again how, I did some work for the Miami Herald and also the Miami Times. And
did you go to work or you just get paid?
Why
do you have to think about that question?
Because I don't, let's see, statute of limitations. I got paid. They gave me.
So in other words, you didn't go to work, but you still got paid.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll tell you this. Some of the greatest writers of all time were like my friends, like with the Tampa Tribune. Tom McEwen was one of my favorite people of all time. And he taught me how to write an opening topic for like a journal. I showed it to him. And then also to Edwin Pope, who was my dearest friend. Oh my God, I loved Edwin Pope. Those guys taught me journalism. Those were the two dudes. They were really important for me to have journalism. Yeah.
Okay.
Edwin Pope was, people don't know, he was the former editor of the Miami Herald.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't know him. I knew it was.
Tom McEwen was the guy at the Tampa Tribune. Yeah, of course, because, you guys were very tight with the Inquirer and all them guys. Because the Inquirer was really where you guys got all your hosts from, right? All your hosts mostly came from
a lot of
them.
Yeah. Some of them are okay, and some of them are not that good.
What do you make of the Inquirer today compared to when it was, like, say,
I'm surprised it's still in business, but it's a nonprofit, so they get away with, I guess, not paying. That means they don't have to pay taxes, the way I understand it. They did something to do something, and they're registered as a nonprofit business. So I don't think they pay taxes or a lot of taxes. They're a nonprofit.
Oh my God. So that's how they're staying afloat?
Yes.
They're a nonprofit.
Yeah, the paper's like 10 pages.
Inquirer's not owned by like Rupert Murdoch or anybody like that.
No, I forget who it's owned by somebody, but it's a nonprofit. I don't know how that works, but it's a nonprofit.
What do you make of the writers there today compared to when it was 15 years ago, 20 years ago?
Not as many. There's not as many good ones. There's not as many good ones. There's some good ones there. There's not as many good ones. But they take their buyouts and they go somewhere else. So I guess I don't know how the Athletic pays their
$500 million since the New York Times bought it and put it in the section. They've lost $500 million since they have.
That's more than Odyssey, the company that owns WIP, that only are $300 million in debt now, although they were $2 billion in debt. But how do they lose $500 million and still stay in business? $500 million.
That's the
how
number.
do they lose $500 million and still be in business?
I don't know. I mean, but they've lost that kind of money.
They have hedge funds.
It's not a profit. It's not a profit.
It's not like you could sell it. It's like radio stations. You can't sell them.
No,
you can't sell them.
And they're not making any money. I don't know how the Athletic stays in business because of the New York Times. And I don't know how the New York Times keeps that thing going. It's not It's just not making any money.
Well,
And
it's
they
their sports section, but still, you can't lose that kind of money, and you just hire the writers back that were used to work for you.
Yeah. Is that Bezos that owns the
That's-
Times?
No, I don't know. He owns the Washington.
He owns the Washington Post. Yeah, I know
yeah,
that.
I don't know
the Times was involved in that.
I'm not sure.
So you got a show on Saturday too, right?
Yeah, Saturday at 8:00. I got a special. I finally got in touch. Here it is. The Inquirer is owned by Lenfest Institute for Journalism, a nonprofit organization. It operates for profit public benefit corporations under the nonprofit ownership.
So Yale says it's a 403B.
Whatever that is.
So they make money but don't make money. Oh, they make money, but it's not taxable money.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever it is, they don't pay, so they save a lot of money with taxes.
Holy cow. What kind of shit is that?
Well, and that's the Daily News is owned by them too. So the Daily News, I'm surprised they're even around, but because they run the same stories as the Inquirer. But whatever. It's just, it's nice that guys have jobs. That's a good thing. You hate to see people lose their jobs, but it is the way it is.
I'm surprised that you didn't write columns more, like for the Inquirer and them, or did you do it for a little bit?
I did it for the Daily News. I wrote a notes column, which pissed off the writers because I wrote things that I heard, things that I sourced out that they couldn't write because at that time, or they say they couldn't write it, whether they couldn't get it or they had to have two sources. The stuff I wrote, 99% of it was good stuff, but it pissed them off. I wrote for the Daily News 3 times a week. I was doing the Daily News, TV, and 2 radio stations.
I've got to ask you this here because I keep getting a DM from this guy, and he says he knows you, he knows Angelo, and he wants to do a story. His name is Rob, Tornoe.
Rob Tornoe.
Yeah, and he reached out to me and he goes, "Hey,
why would he reach out to you?
I don't know.
He's got my contact number."
He goes no, he wanted to do something, and he goes, "Hey, I'd like to do something. I see Howard's on with you and Angelo, and a lot of people tell me about,
He doesn't even write about my show, so the hell with him."
Okay.
I have nothing against.
I don't know who he is. I don't, because me, Howard, I don't do personal interviews.
No, so he wants you to do the interview and give it to him?
Well, no, he wants to interview me on something, talking to you.
He wants to interview you.
Yeah,
he
wants to interview me and how I've been able to get, because he said this, getting you and Angelo on is not that easy. And so I said, I know it's not, believe me. And these guys are I get who they are. I know who they are.
Yeah, but we go back. So that's why, he knew me.
He said this to me. He goes, I'd like to, do a column on you. And I go, yeah, because here's my problem. Howard, my wife has a rule. We don't really do interviews any longer because people are going to take shots. And,
there's going to be a shot taken at.
Yeah. Well, then I'm not interested in that.
And in almost any story, there's always one.
Yeah.
At least one. And, I've never met him.
He said he knows you.
Well, yeah, because he's written stuff about me.
Okay.
And, when whatever. And so, yeah, he knows me. He's in Philadelphia. He works for it's now the Inquirer Daily News, but he used to just write, I think, for the Daily News. Now he writes for the Inquirer.
Was he like a life guy or
just writes? It's just things.
Media stuff? He's like a media guy?
Not just media, just writes things. So I don't even know how to describe him.
And I may have come off a little bit and I go, yeah, last time I did something, because me and Carton have talked about it. You're just going to bring up bullshit from the past about something.
And he's going to,
And so I'd rather not. And so I know you don't do stories like that either, because I'm done with that. I don't need it.
No, it's just there's no benefit. I don't know that there's a benefit. No,
when you're first getting into business, I get it, but hey, man, I got too much BS in the past.
Hey, listen, you want to write about the success of our podcast?
Yeah.
But no, he just
No, but he was like, he goes, man, I watch it when Howard and Angelo come on. Those guys are great and they're open with you like that. That's pretty cool. And I go, I'm blessed. And so he's like, and I go, yeah. He goes, I like to, write about you and Howard and Angelo and stuff. And I go, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be involved in that because I don't know how they feel about you. And so that's what I said. I go,
it's just
yeah,
so.
okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Not here, not there.
Yeah,
Let me bring a little law and order to this.
Howard, I am going to roll. I like that. Hey, maybe what you should do is do that when Nick Sirianni makes one of those fourth and verts calls with that stupid calls of his at the end of ball games. He's such a dope on the sidelines. He looks like an idiot on the sidelines.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
He's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. There's an expiration date on the coach at some point, but he's a good
5
coach.
years.
Harbaugh and Tomlin lasted longer than that. Sean McDermott went 9 years?
Yeah.
So,
but Nick Sirianni's not Sean McVay or any of those other guys.
Sean McVay is an excellent coach. Excellent coach.
Nick Sirianni's a doorman. Are you kidding me, man? I mean, he's a door.
The Four Seasons. So give him a good hotel.
Thank you so much, Howard. I will make sure you check him out. He's got a surprise guest tomorrow. What time is that?
Oh yeah, it's gonna
now
shock
you got
people.
me. I've got
It's gonna shock people, and you're gonna be so surprised at how accurate this mock draft will be. You're gonna be really, really surprised.
See, that's called a drag tease because he's gonna drag me to tomorrow night. Because now I'm dying to know who this is, that he's got this guy on the Miami.
You are going to be just overwhelmed and say, that son of a bitch.
Howard, thank you so much, my friend. I will catch you this Wednesday and also on Saturday.
Wednesday, 7:30, Saturday, 8 o'clock in the morning. Get up bright and early. And Saturday, there's this guy that used to be on. He's a felon. He's been in jail a couple of times, and he he paid off a guard to have a phone in jail, and that's how, when he was in jail, get in touch with me. He was a Sports Talk listener. He's a New York Giants fan and a Mets fan. He lived in like Central Jersey.
Oh, Johnny Six Fingers?
Yeah, his name is Arthur, and he finally got in touch with me. I said, were you in jail? He has to move around the country because the popo, as he likes to call him, the popo is always chasing him down. And he's going to call, and I want to find out if he's booking, if he's putting money out on the street. He does all that stuff. But
he's a bookie with a vig. All right.
He wants to be he's a wannabe mobster.
Oh.
But he's a wannabe, but he really did go to jail. And he really is. He's so funny. He's got this New York accent. All he does is drink. I met him a couple of times. He came to remotes, and he's hilarious. But I want to get some background on what the hell's happened to him. I didn't know if he went to jail, as somebody whacked him. I didn't know what the hell happened.
Oh my God. I mean, just one of the very many Howard Eskin listeners in the day. He picks a guy who went to the pokey.
Yep. Couple of times. He's a convicted felon.
Gotcha. Howard, I appreciate you, my friend.
Right.
We'll talk soon. Thank you so much.
I'll see you later, genius.
That is my friend Howard Eskin, man. Absolutely awesome. He's got a guy who went to the pokey twice. I love it. And now he's got me thinking, who the hell could this be tomorrow night? That's a tremendous tease. You're not going to believe it, Sileo. This guy is going to be so nails on the NFL draft. You mean, wait, I am? No. This guy's good, actually, not you. And so now I'm sitting there going, who the hell? That can't be Mel Kiper. Okay, so it can't be Kiper. Todd McShay? Let's see. Who in God's name can that guy be? And they used him. See, now Daniel Jeremiah, too, is another dude. He was a former scout. Okay. Oh, by the way. Oh, I know who it is. I know who it is, Howard. It's Bob Lang. That's who it is. It's Bob Lang. That's who this is. Bob Lang. Mr. Personality himself. You know, he worked at Revlon. Did you know that, right? He worked at like a lipstick place. How appropriate. Anyway, I got to pay some bills. My good friend at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America, for a reason. My friends, it's because they win. Simple as that. I told you about the story about the folks in PA that they ended up getting a settlement at $650K. They ended up getting nearly $30 million in settlement. Or the family who got $350K in Florida, they got nearly $12 million in settlement. Folks, do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Love 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Love 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
bathroom. Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFC selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
So I gotta tell you this here. I just got a text message from Sean McDonough. And this is crazy. I want to read you this here. So I asked Sean McDonough to come on my both my shows, this one and my Sports Grid show. ESPN told them that they couldn't come on my program. that they're a competitor. Here, right here. And my producer on the other show, the Sports Grid show. Hi, Robert. Hope all is well. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do this. I always enjoy being on with Dan, but when I ran it up the flagpole at ESPN, they told me I couldn't do it because they were direct competitors. I'm very sorry. Thanks for thinking of me. I wish you both nothing but success, and I love you, Dan. Okay. That's the first time I've ever heard that. So, yeah, I mean, wow. Okay. Okay. So now ESPN, and now they're starting to because I've been putting ESPN guys on my program. Last week I had Herm Edwards on. I saw him on with Howard actually, and I said, let me get him on. So I got him on, and he said that he got crap from ESPN. And so, and I'm not the kindest guy in the world to ESPN because I'm with Howard. Personally, I think ESPN is now a political vehicle for agendas. There's not very good many. Look, PTI with Kornheiser and Wilbon, those are fantastic shows because you get both Tony Kornheiser. I think Tony Kornheiser is one of the absolutely best former columnists because he wrote for the Post and also journalist. I think he's great. I think Mike Wilbon's pretty good. I like that show. Wow. And by the way, WIP has been told, and Rhea told me this, not one host is allowed to come on my program as well. So, that's funny because if Howard and Angelo were still there, those guys would not be allowed to come on my program. But I don't think you're telling Howard Eskin and you're telling Angelo Cataldi where they're going to broadcast. That's not happening. I remember Arthur, who Eskin was talking about. He was definitely funny, but so was the king, Eskin. Sills, you're the new talk radio now. Listen every day. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. That's great. Well, I'll tell you what. It's because those guys are very kind to me, too. Here's one here. WPHT 1210 is no longer airing Walter Sterling's Monday through Friday 10 p.m. show due to Walter getting the overnight shift at WABC in New York City. That 1210, I guarantee you they flip that soon to another format. Odyssey is on a respirator right now. Here was the biggest issue. Odyssey was a good company prior to purchasing a CBS radio. The station that Howard worked at, WIP, WEEI, the Sports Hub, DAE, where I worked, those are the only East Coast radio stations in sports talk. WFAN, those were the only sports talk stations that made money. Every other sports talk station died on the vine. You know why? They would have hosts that were national hosts. If you were on WIP and you were talking about something in Seattle, they'd throw you off the air. If you're they'd rather talk cheesesteaks than talk about the Seattle Seahawks football. That's what happened with WFAN when why WIP was better at first than WFAN is because when WIP put guys like Howard on, they were covering local guys, local stories. IP had what was it? They had Jim Lampley on. They had a bunch of other guys on who were doing national shows. Nobody cared in New York what was going on. WIP is awful, says Noah. Yeah, it's not the same. It's just not the same. It sounds like white noise. ESPN is losing its fake entertainment establishments to the independent media or social media. They don't like sharp talkers that can see through their fake entertainment. That's correct. Here, as I was told this, you see, I'll tell you why I like Angelo and Howard so much. They're who they are. You're not pretending to be somebody you're not. And that's how people connect. When you start BSing people on the air, by how you present your sports. I told you guys this. One of my greatest lessons in my life was every year a guy named Gabe Hobbs send me down to Rush Limbaugh in West Palm. Listen, it had nothing to do with politics. It had everything to do with presentation. So Limbaugh told me to do this. I told some of you this before. He wanted me to read a Miami Herald. So I read a Miami Herald story on the air. He goes, "Now watch me read it." Right then and there, I knew I didn't know anything about radio. The way the guy read the story compared to how I read it was night and day. So now ESPN is saying they can't put guys on my show because I'm a competitor? Wow. Now, look, I know all the shows. My radio show is number one in Tampa. That Sports Grid show's got over 4.5 million people have watched it already. That's crazy. Man. Howard even said it about ESPN. ESPN lost a lot of viewers when they started with all the woke BS. No one cares about that crap. Here, I've said this to you guys before about politics and sports talk. It doesn't mesh. People barely listen to me for my sports takes. Nobody cares what my political takes are. Nobody cares about what I think about the politics of anything. They barely care about my sports takes. I mean, because of Sports Grid, not JAKIB, I bet. Oh, no, completely JAKIB. JAKIB got me to Sports Grid. Without JAKIB, I don't get that Sports Grid, and I don't get back on the radio. So that's not true, Twiz. You know you're doing something right when the big dogs see you as competition. I'm stunned. That's Sean McDonough. I've known him a long time. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Will McDonough's kid. I think that's Will McDonough's kid. Okay? So, yeah. Wow. Here, let me read it again. I got to read this to you. This is wild. So, ESPN now. And here's what my producer said. Hey, Sean, this is Robert Anderson, Dan's producer for Outspoken. Eastern on Saturday and Sundays. Which day works for you? Hi, Robert. Hope all is well. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do this. I always enjoy being on with Dan, but when I ran it up the flagpole at ESPN, they told me I couldn't do it. I'm very sorry. Thank you so much. They look at you guys as competition in what Dan is doing. And that's this. I wish you both nothing but the best. I'm going to text him back and say, Sean, love you, man. Sean, love you. Here, I think I could, here. I don't think there's no phone number at the top. That's Sean McDonough right there, who does the hockey. But when look at this. But when I ran it up the flagpole at ESPN, they told me I couldn't. Because they look at us as competition. So here. Sean, love you, man. You are a great friend. Sean, love you. You're a great friend. Disappointed. Say the least. Media people on ESPN make it so obvious that they're following a script from someone stuck on some narrative of Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown topics. They dragged that topic for 3 years. I wouldn't disown my father if he said Hurts not elite. Diehard Eagle fan to the fullest. Good for you, my friend. See here. I'll tell you this. I'm working on getting we've had Keith Jones on here before. I'm working on Keith Jones. Coming on again. Keith's a great friend. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed there. Let's see if he texts me back here. Phew. I'm getting Jeremy Roenick on. Flyers finally have a goalie. Used to be a benchmark for that organization. Was one of the best benchmarks in that organization's history, was having great goaltending. Let's see. I think I may have missed a few of these. Hold on here. Let me go back. I can't wait to see what they do at 23. I'm still going to stay on Kenyon Sadiq. I'm not going to deviate off it. Not going to deviate. Hurts is top 3 elite. Prove me wrong, Sills. I don't have to prove you wrong. Your offensive passing game's the worst in pro football for the last 5 years. Sills, can't wait for AJ drama to be behind us. A disgruntled AJ doesn't perform. Mental reset in the locker room. And for Jalen Hurts, offense could play free. Here, like I said, as a unit, it's been the worst passing offense of any contending football team in the last 5 years. And their performance proves it. If this is why they're changing the offense. They don't believe they can win that way. They're getting Emmanuel from Toledo. That's the corner kid. Okay, here's what these guys like this don't get. Been one of the winningest teams the last 5 years, too. And that's why they're changing the entire offense. He doesn't get it, and he never will get it. That's why they're hiring people that don't fit the quarterback skill. Sure, okay. That never makes sense. They fired. Hey, if they've had so much success the last 5 years, why did they fire everyone? He's stupid as he gets, man. He gets dumber by the post. Sills, you are aware that Kansas City, according to reports, may also be in. Oh, absolutely, I agree. Okay? Absolutely. Dak is elite. Look at his numbers. No. Look at his paycheck. Dak's elite. Look at his paycheck, you mean. Dak is elite. That I have never seen. Let's see here. I think the Flyers' future looks good. I think they've done a good job with Daniel Briere and them guys. Absolutely. I don't believe the change is 100% for Hurts. I think some of it has to do with them thinking the O-line will have less wear and tear throughout the season with a new scheme. So you think the offensive line's going to have this dramatic turnaround? I don't. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's really got more to do with Hurts. I think it's got more to do with your O-line. Yeah. And that's how players get paid. Correct. Well, then how is he making $60 million? How is Trevor Lawrence making $55 million? Stupid takes. Two playoff. Dude, it's Walter Payton Man of the Year. He is. Absolutely not. Hurts is at the bottom of the list when it comes to throwing the ball from the pocket. Look at his numbers. Look at the offense. Bro, I'm not debating somebody like that. Dak wouldn't last 10 years in Philly. And nor has any other quarterback. Nor has any other guy. Oh, man. Kenyon Sadiq. Let's see. I think the offensive changes are more for Barkley than Hurts. Dude, your passing game could not elevate your offense last year. When they had to throw the ball, they couldn't. And you had the second best pass protection offensive line. And you couldn't do anything with it. Not sure what you're talking about. Sills, would you use a 1 and a 3 for Sadiq, or is too rich? Way too rich. Not happening. Just not happening. If anything, to move up, I'll give you I'll switch spots with Carolina. I would switch spots with Carolina, and I'd go to 19, 23, and you have to probably give up a 3. All right. My great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America, for a reason. It's because they win. There is no firm like Morgan & Morgan with over $30 billion recovered for clients across this great country. Told you about the family in Pennsylvania, $650K. They got $30 million in settlement. Or the family in Florida that was initially offered $350K. They got $12 million. Easiest decision you'll ever make in your life. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce. Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face. Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFC selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Thank you guys very much, man. We appreciate it. We're getting closer and closer to the NFL draft. Battle Royale tomorrow. Hit the like button on the way out, and we will see you on the flip side.